off season as well. So at the moment, their only wins throughout 2023, their only wins since 2022 were during LCQ when they went on that famous run. So this is a lot of pressure, I think, on KRU to start out the gate strong.
Talking about starting out strong here. Clash and a skirmish as soon as the barriers go down. A lot of players about to be meeting each other. Molly towards the side, contact plays walking into it. Net's going to be the first one to take the contact, not quite. It's all Leaf in the feed, fills up with red. That's a G2 overwhelming victory.
And it looks like G2 have seen a pistol like that before. They weren't even trying to take space. They were just waiting for aggression coming out through B. And then they step on the accelerator, knowing that Shy would be on the opposite side of the map. And a fairly free plant here. Shy doesn't want to give away his position just yet. Thought he might be able to get a sneaky one on Leaf, but he's got one hell of a task here in a 1v3.
A little bit too much to do. No Molly as well to just try and push somebody out of position.
Turret down.
3 players to contest and tangle with. Not going to be an easy fight handed to him. Now, a bit of damage done to Trent. There might be an option here, but not even a tap onto the spike to try and force one of these fights out. Lovely shot onto the head of Leaf as well, but he's still alive and kicking. Jumping up to the high ground now, and yet just playing around it. 4 kills for Leaf. What an opening.
If there were any doubts that Leaf is going to continue performing on G2, I think we can... Well, we'll have to wait until the end of the match for sure, but at least in the pistol, it's looking fabulous. He just got gifted 2 right at the start there. Great position, like I said. Anticipation that it was coming. On paper, this is an outrageous move. Adding Leaf, I think the second best performing player of the regular season in Americas last year, to this G2 team should be spectacular. As the desk was saying, we've seen moves like this before that didn't end up actually working how you would expect them to on paper. And if anyone knows how to defy expectations, it would be KRU.
Certainly. Big stack on the eco. Hoping for a couple of kills here from KRU. That's a pop flash play inside their own smoke. As it goes down, though, in the midst of all of that.
That smoke could not have been more perfectly timed there from MTA.
Toxin screen down.
And the flash.
I'm trying to escape as well. All of the fire that's coming their way. Now, it's good from G2 just to slow it. To crawl, see if they can pick apart any of these players. They spotted out that there is a stack here. They have options if they want to go elsewhere. Kesnet. With the Marshall.
Always a dangerous player.
Yeah, always, always, always. Revealed his hand now, but with the smoke blocking off the sideline here. Trent really pushing forward as the wall goes down, yet caught unaware. MTA. There will be a free plant. One player left alone here, that is just Kesnet. Dart, they want to chase him down.
Look how solid that brimstone smoke is as well. A 4K in the previous round for Leaf, 4K in this round for Jonah P, who interestingly is on the Sova, a role that you would normally associate with Trent, though, you know, very happy to rotate around the initiators. But did you see the brim smoke towards the back, allowing them to get much deeper positioning and establish control over sight? Unlike the Viper wall, which they're also throwing, you can see that there from Trent on the minimap, the brim smoke actually allows you to clear sight and look down towards orange, make sure that there's no threats. One of the reasons that they're running that. But it also gives you good post-plant mollies, which the Harbor wouldn't.
A lot of good options with the Brimstone. You got to think. Leaf has earned his way to the Blade Storm. That's from those prior kills in that first round.
And Kesnet, despite the fact that G2 punished them for pushing out B on the pistol, is not afraid.
No.
Doesn't know fear. Never met him.
That guy is, I mean, Kesnet's a menace. When he gets going as well. Real high skill player. Just putting it out there, just an attempt to try and break the turret, a bit of mid-rounding. Still, let's get rid of it, a bit pesky.
And look how they're using the brim smoke again. Valen put a brim smoke over towards orange to make sure that they only had to worry about that one angle.
It's being re-cleared by KRU now.
But this has pulled people away from the A site, and that's Valen's idea.
Where's this going? Drops down. Back
what a lineup.
Really great lineups, honestly. Look at all this utility. It's going to be used to clear through. Leaf over the top. Oh, MTA!
What a shot.
To the big stage, yeah. Beautiful shot at that. With Leaf being brought down now, this is really difficult. 35 seconds left. How are you going to get the spike down? You're going to try and fight for that backside control. Molly onto the top of the rafters, but already the kills. An even trade right now. It's going to be favoring KRU in this situation and more. Kesnet's here to play. Rips away the hopes and dreams. Trying to have a nice and easy round, leaving it just Up to Trent. And the dice. Fading it out here, but brought down in the end. So KRU not losing against the bonus round.
Some awesome shots from the KRU players.
Yeah.
MTA's punish onto Leaf was sublime. It just took the sting out of that exec completely. And then, of course, Kesnit mopping up towards the end, as you would always expect him to do. And take a look at this on the replay. I mean, wow. Leaf can barely react. He's coming around the back of the brim smoke.
A wonderful job. KRU are really proactive as well. As soon as the turret was destroyed in that round, they were clearing the 2-3 players into mid, making sure that they weren't pushed up behind that brim smoke that you pointed out. So they knew immediately it was going over to be the 8 hit.
And here we see a brim smoke on top of Boiler, threatening like you could go for some kind of push. Shy has an alarm bot there, so they're not crazy worried, but double brim smokes do threaten like they could have walked underneath Tube. And that's pulled 3 players on top of the one that would usually be there. You can see how the brim is going to open up the edges of the map for G2 to play, because it creates so much threat in the middle by obscuring these sightlines that G2 should be able to walk in easier to A and B.
Spectra.
Winning it out. Orb up now facing together here. Lots of players ready and waiting, including Kesnit. He's getting a bit of a move on here with a flash. Okay, that. There's a dart and a flash combo, but as well, just doesn't really connect in time. So Kesnit gets brought down, removed. Away from that one, the first step potentially there for them, but okay, return the fire. There's a bit of a gap there in the smoke. That's what Klaus was using. So 4 versus 4 now. Again, 35 seconds left. Time is running short here. If they want to try and commit to this B side, Jonah P really just taking all the space up onto the side, getting that plant down into a safe corner. MTA taking out Melza there as well, though. That's a spike drop down.
But now he's left in the 1v3, so this is still very difficult.
Yeah.
And G2 punish. So G2 really nicely working the map. I like this Brimstone pick so far on the attack side. Valen's certainly finding a lot of value with it because it's drawing KRU away from the edges. And you saw there, I mean, that's the slightly missed Brim smoke that you were talking about, Brent. But actually, the damage had kind of been done prior to that because they wanted to contest yellow, but they were so far away that in running up to try and play off the back of that flash recon, Kesnit ended up overextending himself a little bit and giving his life away.
Forced down to the half-wide for KRU. Again, a stacked all day. I mean, guessing correctly here. Shock Molly combo.
Yeah, that's a good util combo, and KRU almost got caught.
Up into Nesto. Got to try and get that spam. That kill. Shy is really far forward and he can't escape it. A lot of the gambles from KRU, they really are, guessing correctly in terms of where the bulk of the forces of G2 are going to be. Kesnit's got the dash, though. Real chance of him to just rip ahead straight off, but Valen's got the cover.
Great freeze in the round, again called by Valen.
2 more players here, but with the weaponry, maybe they'll make short work of it. Yeah, moving forward, Klaus. And MTA don't really stand a chance there, hopping across the ropes.
Oh, they're just so speedy, zipping along the ropes, firing at them with a Vandal.
Spike planted.
It's unfair. And Melza has spent this round thinking about pushing out B, saw the alarm bot. Net was in spawn the entire time, making sure that that couldn't even be a threat. And Melza's just had the worst time of things here. But such is the life of a Viper on Icebox. I can tell you it is sometimes.
Just play and retake. When the A hits come in, your team don't stop them. You're like, oh god. Nice kill.
Good shot.
2 away from the ults.
And that could be a big difference maker if he can get one more.
One more. Build it up.
One headshot would do it for Leaf at any distance.
That's all he needs. Players, though, pushing up on top of him.
And not quite.
Yeah, and that picking them out.
You know, that really is a large difference. If Melza had had his ult online, there are a lot more things that KRU can do with rotating around their defensive setups. But it's quite hard to play for an orb, to be honest. I mean, green is more difficult to hold on to now than it was before in the old Icebox, where you could have your Jet fight over it aggressively. And you've seen the Shock Molly combos that G2 are happy to put together over towards A. Wouldn't be surprised to see another one of those happen, just to deny an ult orb from Klaus or Melza, who are very close.
Their defense
Doesn't look like that's what they're going for, though.
could be better.
Trent prioritizing that orb, the smoke towards mid, as Kesnit's got an op online.
Exactly. The big boom gun. Pushing down towards B, but he doesn't really like his chances there to reposition now. Won't be too many players unless Net decides to take a lurk out through B. Seems unlikely, though. He's just playing it safe, making sure that he can just hold for the push. Probably no action there.
And you heard it from Tex earlier on.
Oh, there was no
Jonas
tag.
going for it.
Okay, going for this one here.
I'm surprised he committed to it. And then he got suppressed anyway.
Yeah, that was MTA's ult forced out, I believe.
That's a win for Jonah P. I'd take that trade any day of the week as the attacking team, especially with no dart pick.
Yeah, no one was scaling with the Hunter's Fury either, but it made it feel like almost it was a push. Pulled out the ult ahead of time. Now 50 seconds left. The team can start to regroup. So G2 here over towards A, but again, it's a lot of players from KRU ready to meet them. That's a great knife.
Yeah. KRU got the right read for sure.
Util's just getting nothing done here. This is looking a little bit awkward. Orbital strike. Cuts up the site here. Leaf dashing ahead there. MTA once more taking care of him and finishing it. All goes down now. Still with the brim smokes. Dividing up the sites, but can G2 conquer? That is the question here with the pack going down. Though the fight all the way going in favor of KRU. They've got it on lock with the entirety of that site. Second round earned.
That's another instance where KRU are able to take down Leaf very early on as the exec comes through. I think a lot of it is just spamming based on where they expect him to be scaling. Take a look at in the replay here. Yeah, it's just into the smoke. It's not like Leaf gets seen.
I must have heard the updraft, I think.
Yeah, just predicting where his pathing is going to be.
Yeah.
And that is taking a lot of the edge out of G2's rounds. Still up 4-2, but KRU are doing a decent job here.
Down towards mid. Finally, that Viper's pit.
Pac-Man ult.
Yep, drop that one down onto A. Makes it nice and easy. And you can stack defenders out towards mid here. Shy with the alarm bot. Broken. Klaus over the top of Boiler. That's net taken out. I think that was just a bit of a spam kill. Dart is going to be good here. It's going to be connecting. Now they know with that shot fired. Hunter's Fury to force them out into the open, into the window. You can't escape from it still. There it is. Damage applied. With Trent falling now, Valen is left to just try and rush into it, take some risks here, but he's lit up once more. Should be an easy kill, should be, but isn't.
And now the Viper
behind
swinging out with the
way!
And Melza has just given an open entry to Jonah P as well. These two players from G2 can now regroup and fight on even footing.
Spike planted.
Molly missing a little bit late here. Valen's definitely weak, but it's 2 versus 2. Flash, that's a nice one. Just over the side of Jenny, but they haven't cleared this corner to tap onto it with the smoke as well. Out towards the side, and each individual player wins their fight. G2.
How have they gotten away with it? How have they gotten away with that? It's Valen just muscling his way through an awful situation. I think KRU played that excellently. Klaus' awareness that someone was coming through the smoke, perfect. Then the dart and the ult, excellent. The punish in here should have been perfect. And yet Valen just outskills a couple of players. And the round is flipped on its head.
Pure individualism from the IGL.
And that's annoyed me, that, as well, because that's gonna count in the stats as a successful mid to A hit.
Ah, okay.
And those almost never work.
Why? Do you have personal stocks in that, Phelan?
I do.
Okay.
G2 playing another slow beginning to this round, anticipating some level of aggression from Kesnet. It's not a bad gamble. And there, the turret is smoked off. A different Brimstone smoke position. But I think the goal there is just to try to pull players away. They're hoping Kesnet is not on this angle.
Can't get a dash off.
Another great trade. Valen's having a monster performance so far.
That's fantastic. If you can shut down Kesnet, it's a massive win condition for you when you're playing against this KRU team. Hyper Molly, perfect placement as well. Forces TA towards the back side of the site. And again, it's that from smoke flash through it. 2 kills for him. Gonna try and find a third, why not? The orbital strike was just a little bit ajar there. 2 players suppressing over the last 2 are. Are we really expecting Valen to try and do it again? I don't think it's likely, is it?
Surely not.
Contacting both of them now. There's only real chance here. Okay.
Surely not.
There's one, but it's dealt with.
Standing.
The deep position of net. Jump spot as well. Good discipline. Klaus. It's off to the side here. No way, Valen. No way! 4 for him. On for the ace. A clutch like that! Denied by Shy. Oh my goodness. You hold your breath and believe for a moment.
Oh. The KRU fans getting behind them. But that is now 2 rounds where they should have just easily dealt with what G2 were doing. One slipped away, the other way too close. MTA, though, these flashes have been excellent. He's a player that's got the call up. Tier 2 player coming in to replace Nags,
Yeah.
having his place on the roster as the flex player and looking immediately on stage like he's got some great ideas, good timing, not afraid, not letting the nerves get to him.
The firepower's there.
Certainly is. So now G2 are going to take a tactical timeout. There's a few things here, and the Brim Smokes were pulling a lot of people towards the middle lane at the start of this. Now, not so much. Now, Valen smoked off the turret in that round, and Kesnit was still trying to fight B. So there is now a possibility that you can follow those Brim Smokes a little more and use them to lurk through mid. We'll see how G2 decide to fight for this. One of the other things that KRU are going to have to be thinking about as well is that the Viper wall going up, Brim Smoke's behind. When the Viper drops the wall, when Trent drops that wall, suddenly everyone from G2 is fighting on site. So that makes it really difficult to hard anchor. NTA did a great job of stopping it that time. Is it replicable?
Still money enough to buy here, especially Kesnit with his own ult online. I think another round will be good for them. Straight into it, the knife was dodged. Here's the turret, Dash is there. There's those changes. Didn't catch on to him, but he heard all the noise cues as well and swung, forced Kesnit away. Gotta respect that.
So slow from G2. The first 20 seconds burnt off, but dodged that threat from Kesnit and now trying to drone to push him away.
Did they see the jump spot? At least they should have caught.
Do you really want to go into Kesnit here?
Yeah, it seems like a fool's errand. We know what this guy is capable of.
There are now 4 KRU players ready to fight.
Flash play. There was anti-flash positioned by G2. They were seeking to try and punish an attempt like that. But time is being whistled away. Down to the minute mark. Here we go. Dart towards the back of yellow. We'll clear it.
And here comes that mid lurk.
Yeah. Knife is good still though, but that mid lurk shut down a Shy.
Destroyed.
This time playing in front of it. Use the same Brim Smokes, but there's the adjustments being made by KRU, and they are really having a good time at this one now. A lot of damage done to these players of G2. They are weak. Finding it more than difficult to try and get themselves into the site. Trent down, no Viper wall as well to cut this one up. They have to try and play together if they want a chance to win. Kesnit, he will fall, but there's a trade by Shy. Monstrous performance so far. Jonah P. still there. Active into the fight. No kill claimed. Shy. Real damage done. Have to go for the plant. It's going to be a wide swing, maybe. Forced off with the volley. Shy with the ace.
Call me Tixapod again.
But around from the Rhinoceros. He shut down that lurk play on the B split without even an effort.
Really good awareness.
Take a look at this on the replay. Just boom, boom. He actually headshot through Trent's body there. And then cleans everybody else up towards the end.
A reminder, iBuyPower giving away a PC for every single ace. Hashtag unlock your ace on socials to earn your chance.
And now KRU have broken the G2 economy. So G2's plans of trying to make use of that have not worked. Look at how many players on KRU there are.
Already beating them.
4 stacked up on defense.
All pops off here, taking away everything in KRU. It's the feed filled up, but can they really claim the rest of these kills? On the top of Bell, 5 HP to net. Can he really seek to do a little bit more? Not quite. KRU. That's explosive. What a beginning.
And KRU have figured out how to deal with G2, which is, don't bother about spreading out around the map. Actually, just stack 4 players wherever they're making noise. And G2, because they're heavily defaulting themselves towards one side of the map or the other, are not really able to ping pong.
KRU are making the right reads, like you're saying, you know, just follow the noise cues or what, but you know, these stacks of players, it's paying off for them. Right back into it. This time though, KRU, only one player going to be anchoring, it's Melzer.
Look at G2 again though, all 5 players in one side of the map.
Kesnit is pushing.
And KRU are going to be so fast to rotate.
Again, Kesnit with the disrespect. This man does not care, he's going to be giving all this information the entire time, coming to his teams like, guys, it's going to be A. Start stacking over towards it, now the lockdown makes it really obvious.
I thought Shine might have gone for the counter lockdown, but he wasn't quick enough. They do have that for the retake though.
So the scaling's there from G2 with the plant down, Pit on top of it. It's going to be difficult to get through, but now, yeah, lockdown. Used, push them out of the pit most likely.
The pit's fairly decent here though, because Trent is going to be able to keep it alive, I think.
Potentially, or with a strike. Where's this punish? That's onto the lockdown. Yep, destroys it out, so they can still play up close and personal. A bit of spam. War through the smoke. Star needs to be dealt with, and it is. Trent With him still alive, the pit's still up. Kismet though, he's up close towards him. Traded by Jonah P, but Shy's there as well for the follow-up. Inside the pit now, MTA taking names and taking the space of the rest of his team. They pushed them all the way back to the fuse, tapped. But they forced them out wide. Yes, they will. Crew, again, right answers, the right pace, and they've taken the lead in the map.
What a response from Crew. They've really figured out how to deal with what G2 are throwing at them quickly. This is a team that struggled to close things out, struggled to find the answer all throughout the regular season to be able to put map wins on the board. And so far, so good. Even after their lockdown was taken care of. They're following up on Kesnit really nicely. MTA's got so much confidence for a new player on stage. They're looking aggressive, confident.
The trades are instantaneous as well.
Yeah.
They're not letting anything get slipped by. Good stuff. Last round now for them. Updraft, dash on top of the tube here. And remove that turret, remove the dart. Leaf's got a hell of a job to do here, and a drone in his face on top of it. What options are available to him? Kesnit just takes him out.
Do they realize that Trent slipped through? Yes. Whoa. Kesnit again.
Trent forced the scamper.
The thing is, though, this is the first round where G2 are making noise on the opposite side of the map and then trying to sneak contact their way into A. There was a shot there from Valen, though. He's just given away that at least somebody's towards A. So they might be able to get a plant down here without getting too heavily pressured.
Elves are still with the mollies, but not enough to deny the plant. Alan's doing this in an unconventional location. It's going to force G2, I think, to be a little bit up close here.
Valen himself doesn't have the Brimstone molly to play post-plant, so he can play aggressive on site. Net's already placed those down. They have double shot, double snake, well, one snake right now.
Gonna have to with this one here is the take. Crew moving forwards. Kesnit taking out Hunter's Fury to set it up. Crew need to be taking space. Net doesn't nade at your feet and you're down. All the way through. That's Jonah P answering back with his own, and Trent, he's still there close to the generator. All up to Klaus. And time starting to work against him. The pressure mounting, shot down forwards. That's a kill found. And one more player is low. And like I said, the spike was not planned for him. A tap, but he doesn't stick it. And the win conditions running out. Not enough time. Unlucky for Klaus, but a really, really nice attempt.
Great try, just a little too slow. And G2 in round 12 might have just managed to figure out the solution at the 11th hour. You know, being able to get that plant down and tick enough time off before Crew swarmed to meet them. That was a very competitive half from both teams.
Oh, yeah.
Super back and forth. But that's how every Crew map was during the regular season. 4 kills on the pistol round, and since then he's been 3 and 10. Just getting shut down at the start of so many of these rounds, so he has yet to really come online. Half of that because I think Crew have just got really good anticipation of how he was playing on the attack side.
Look at the patience on show by Crew here. On their attack side, anticipating that aggression. You're right, you know, the Jet players, particularly Leaf, really a bit of a fall off. We'll see on the defensive side of things are a little bit easier for him.
Yeah.
Usually they are.
And you think about how Crew got that success at LCQ, it was by playing very disciplined 1-3-1 defaults, where the 2 players on the outside of the map would never make a mistake. Super disciplined.
Leaf feeling like he had to overstay his welcome there, but a couple of shots off, rattled Kesnit. He's in, out towards yellow now, clearing out for the rest of his team. Taking the space, but the wall's not up for the rest of them to cross. Dash active, maybe a little bit too early for Leaf. Unlikely to get value, and yet fades away. Here's the wall. Again, no noise being made. Look at it, creeping up. They're going to pop flash through, potentially with a knife. No, a tap. Seeking some sort of response here, trying to meet them with just pure, raw manpower. And they are being met with G2. Got players towards the back. Leaf and Valen respond in kind.
Great cleanup from G2. Crew had a great idea there as well, though. They tapped the plant and were trying to bait G2 into peeking so that they could punish them. At the same time, though, when that dissolved, MTA just a bit too aggressive, pushing on his own into Snowman, not connected with the rest of the team. It's one of the first times, actually, where we've seen the kind of team fighting and brawling from Crew disintegrate a little bit and look a bit sloppy.
Yeah.
And it might have come at the worst time, because that pistol is so important at a 6-6. G2 take the lead back.
Smoke's down.
Valen's going to farm his ult orb inside the smoke. Not that the smoke is going to stop a shock molly combo, but it will stop somebody trying to get eyes on him. look at where Net has put down his nanoswarms. So he's got one to try to deny the plant, and then he's also got one in case they try to fight aggressive onto it. So he's thinking about how MTA might want to use those flashes. You can see it almost at his feet here, blocking up that choke point into Snowman.
Spike going to be rejoining the rest of KRU, making their way over towards B. Nanoswarm was removed.
I would assume that Valin has some kind of molly lineup to the default plant as well, though he may use it in a retake. Slow beginnings here for KRU.
Really slow. Two's entire game plan just revolving around making sure they hold enough map control, but they're aware now. Plan going down.
Planted.
More than aware here. Opens up just one of the sight lines. Escaping away. Mel's is on one. Literally 1 HP. Molly now towards the back of Yellow. It's going to be forcing the players out a little bit wide. Making sure they can clear this one. Look at the way these smokes are just so good at just segmenting the entirety of this side. A push through from NTA is barely dealt with enough damage done still. Everybody will fall. Bad money for KRU. 4 players surviving of G2. It's a healthy round to go into the bonus.
And that shows you how G2 are going to approach these B retakes. They're happy to let the spike plant go down, and in fact, the only thing they care about is stopping KRU from pushing into Snowman. And then once the retake comes through, smokes either side of Yellow, recon to the back, molly as well, spray into the smokes, looking to try to get some cheaper kills, and then focus on putting pressure on the defuse. Seems like a sensible plan. Now KRU have an idea, maybe, of how they can play around it. G2 with 3 Bulldogs.
There's that danger there, but KRU now finally rifles in hand.
Actually, all 3 of those Bulldogs are over towards A. So,
deep push again from Leaf, all the way into Ness. He's removed the turret early, which KRU was holding for. At least Shy was sending the sights over towards B.
It's kind of wild that you even get an angle to break that knife, actually. They denied a bit of information over towards Yellow, and now KRU are a bit cautious of that, thinking there could be some kind of aggressive play.
The range on these Brim smokes, I mean, Valin is just somehow able to get it off. It's on the opposite side of the map. I think it just moves into mid for it, but starting to see the limitations of Brimstone. Why I used to see Omen played all the time in a similar capacity, but they don't seem weakened by it. Now moving up again, KRU, game plan, just contacting Kesnick, getting a bit of a run on. Sprinting forward to the rest of them, forcing out this util, but how much gas do they have left in the tank? The wall goes down, Kesnick faces with the dash. Still there, no targets to meet him.
And like I said, G2, as long as they hold on to Snowman, they're going to be confident in their retake strategy. Once the orb goes down, then KRU can attempt the plant, and you see Melza go for it.
Time, 35 seconds, nothing to push it back. Oh! Okay. Straight through the smokes again. Kesnick falls. A bit of an unlucky one for him.
And KRU have now got to think about how they're going to fight this, because they're very likely just going to get smoked off, ulted off.
2 players pushed out of the position again. All these kills are just happening right through the smokes once more. The first pair, one was Trent. Just then, tap onto the defuse. Players out of the way, and now a stick is ordered. Trent, all the way through. They can't do anything. Can't do anything. They got to back away. Got to save.
That's what I'm saying, this retake strategy from G2. They're never contesting the plant. KRU always allowed to get it down, but then G2 coming forwards, assuming the KRU are backing off. They have one ways in your face, they have an ult in your face, they've got recons coming in. And the spam through the smoke is really potent in those kind of situations. All right, KRU have got to come up with a way of abusing that. And I think one of the ways would be to play more aggressive post-plant positions. G2 at the moment are just getting all of the sight for free and then taking the fight towards Yellow and Green. KRU have got to make them fight for every inch on the retake.
No one pushing away from the orbs. Farming them up over towards A. And again, it's the B side for KRU. Maybe we'll see those adjustments you talked about. Flash. In towards the back. Clearing it through.
Yeah, Shy's getting pressured a little bit over towards A here.
And this is what G2 have been doing prior, so maybe Shy doesn't anticipate them to actually push up behind it this time. They have been breaking the turret as part of the conditioning. Players to meet him. Will he get both of them? He's called for backup as well. He's got his team there, but Leaf is backing away. Just taking the one casualty. Dash as well. Disengaged for now, but a great opener. Maybe KRU can work off it.
And a pretty great read as well by KRU, calling for the reinforcements very early on there so that they were ready to back up Shy.
Brave from Leaf in this position here. He doesn't have a dash, just spots the jiggle. The awareness from MTA. Moving forwards and they're watching for all the angles. Right place, right time. Kesnet this whole time has just been lurking.
I mean, I don't
Average Jet rank player. And he spots the player out anyway.
And now he's going to
And he's
actually
called
call
for the B rotate.
the B rotate
Okay.
in the
30
5v2.
seconds
I
left.
mean, yeah, sure.
He's got the space.
That is called playing it safe. You don't want to take the 4v2 over towards A. Make sure that this round is completely secured. Trent's in an utterly unwinnable spot.
There's one from that. Nicely done.
Great round from KRU. Again, kind of similar to how they were playing at LCQ and how Melzer was calling then. They had Kesnet pressuring B, Shy watching over towards A, and then 3 players in the middle who were able to rotate between the B pressure and the A pressure, depending on what info there is. Well ping-ponged from site to site. And I didn't know really what to expect from KRU coming into this opening game because, you know, yeah, their games were close, but they still went 0-9 throughout the regular season.
Yeah.
And their off-season performance wasn't amazing either. So I was thinking, is LCQ just a flash in the pan? It's really difficult to know. But so far, they are playing very competitively against G2.
Yeah. Messi sign's going to go amiss, I think, with the American audience, but I respect the attempt. But yeah, you're right, Josh. I mean, a flash in the pan indeed.
Oh, well, I think that's the
maybe
question.
evidence for it, right? That is the question for KRU. But I think right now they're proving again they can go toe to toe because, you know, you think about these Ascension teams as well. A team of the caliber of G2, I would often put them, I think, higher up than a lot of the teams in your partnership system sometimes.
I mean, yeah, that's a great question. Which would you respect more, the winner of LCQ or the winner of Ascension? The tier 2 teams are no joke. I think that's a real question.
Yeah, and I think I would put it a little bit over towards G2's favor. I think I respect that a little bit more, but KRU, can't deny, they've got good ideas. They've got the firepower, they're not scared, they've got the confidence. It's boundless right now. They're only trailing by 2. Can they maybe even it up? Leaf with the operator. You're now on towards B.
Certainly could be a game changer.
Drone should spot this. Indeed, they even break the drone actually as well. Reposition, still has a dash. Can take this peak timing, but doesn't know that Kesnet has crossed out towards the left.
And there are no flashes for him to go for that re-establishment onto the aggressive angle. And whereas G2 were often finishing where they first showed presence, KRU are kind of doing the opposite. Most of the time when they take B control, they are now leaning A. And it looks like G2 have the read on this because Trent is already coming to reinforce the A site. A one-way being thrown? Or is that just a default smoke, actually? Yeah, just a default smoke. There are plenty of different one-ways, though, that you can run with Brim on the A side.
Super aware. Time just being brought down. 35 seconds. Molly's at their feet now. They can't really cross past that boundary to get into the back of the side. They're finding it really difficult to choose through.
Trent is just eating the vulnerable
To the
backside.
side, into the corner here. Okay, barreling through. That's brute
Spike
force.
down A.
Respect the approach here. So KRU have found that opening onto the side, and now this retake pretty much chalked, isn't it? Leaf's got the operator.
Planted.
He's still making his way over towards Rafters. But most likely a save.
And KRU found a ton of success there by just relying on their fundamentals. Getting in, I mean, the first step, they found a really good knife, actually, onto Trent and Jonah P. So no opportunity to use shock molly combos onto the planter. So that's a huge bonus right from the beginning. But then by triple facing onto Rafters, they ensure that they just have so many... Oh, no kill?
The hunt begins. This operator's important. Leaf really wants to hold on to this one. Longest spike explosion of all time. This man is sweating right now. Over the top. The right click. Won't survive.
Op denied.
No one will remember them.
Yeah, look at the economy. Not really too feasible to get another one online. Unless somebody wanted to go without armor. So yeah, take a look at this swing. It's a flash out from MTA, whose utility has been excellent and really well coordinated with the rest of the team. And it's all over in one fell swoop. Kesnet's happy about that one. They got rid of the op. That was the goal.
No players to meet them on G2. Over towards A. giving up a change of the setup, actually. They're looking to see if they can push through this.
Shy is in spawn.
Yeah, in spawn.
He's in the curry spot.
Barely spots it out, actually. I think he might have had his knife out in that instance, but he survives. Alarm bot broken. Job done.
That didn't really pressure KRU to accelerate onto A, right? Even though they know that there was a couple of people pushing out B, they're still very diligent with the way that they're clearing angles.
Taking the time of it. Going to be holding a dart for this, potentially. Anna Swarms, snake bites, enough to delay. A tap from Klaus. That's again trying to pull out extra pieces. Still a minute left. Hunter's Fury. Any sort of connection? Not to the usual spots as well. No one really taking the space either. This time on the opposing side. It's Klaus. Lets it rip. Again, no kills have really been found. It's a bit of a stalemate between both these teams. The smoke's faded away now. Gonna try and hold on to backside control, but that can be a tricky business plan for Melzer. Finally, will he get this one off all the way through? G2, they want to try and take the fight to them. Of all the bodies in the world. Again, they're really finding it hard to try and get into that backside control. Melzer forwards onto Nest. He's managed to bring down Leave. Second kill for him. Right click with the knives. KRU in control largely there.
The coordination's excellent from KRU. They're playing off each other superbly and applying so much pressure onto G2 when they tried to come back into sight. You know, KRU were falling back and playing passive post plants on B, and that's what allowed G2 to get this retake style working. Now, they're not falling back at all. They've got people pushed up towards Dice, they've got people in top nest, ready, fighting. It's a great adjustment from KRU, and it is on the opposite side. We haven't really seen them do an aggressive B post plant. But G2 now need to prove that they can stop this A hit. They've got 4 players on the light eco stacked to try and showcase just that.
This time stopping them from grabbing the orbs as well. It was a snake bite, dart, flash.
One suppressed.
Only the one player found with that. KRU might be wading to a bit of a trap. Still some bites around a G2, even if they don't have the rifles. And they're just holding. Really working the clock, honestly. Every single round of KRU.
Most of the time, they've been rotating away. This time they hit.
Forwards, though, with the stinger. Leaf stare, Valorant off to the side. Finding the kills where they matter, though. How does Leaf get away with 2? Melzer swiftly responds. Straight there, and with the res online, so MTA is here, so 1v3, Net with the rifle. A chance, but needs to get lucky with a kill. There's one. Maybe the second, MTA way out wide. It's a 1v1. Shy with a plant down. Time force against him. Shy wins it.
Shy has been a backbone for KRU in these dodgy situations. That's the second time that Shy's managed to bail them out by winning a 1v1 when KRU were up massive numbers and then got a bit wonky with it.
Yeah, a little bit dodgy.
At the same time, though, they're getting away with it. They're getting away with it. G2 still can't prove that they have the answer to stop KRU just simply going A. I don't see any reason for KRU to change things up here. Keep hammering A and putting rounds on the board.
KRU with the lead. All players facing out towards A. No kill found. Leaf. Dash. Trying to get himself out of there. Bullets raining down, peppering him onto the floor, but he is lucky.
You should run.
This is gonna be tough. And no Jonah P. No space on site.
Really no chance, is there? With the lockdown, Leaf is just overstaying his welcome, hoping, praying for a kill here. He's gonna get detained. Yeah. Push back here. Should be an open site for KRU. Only Selenium just ever so slightly.
Smoke's down.
Smoke's dropped down. What's the call now from G2? Do they seek to try and fight this one? Still with that player disadvantage. Kesnit! Just Kesnit things.
It's disgusting.
Right up top, collecting it. The deck collector himself. Drone pushing forwards into their spawn, removing the weapons on for the ace once more.
I mean, he is gonna hunt. Trent doesn't have very much money. It's worth getting the weapon out of his hand, and Kesnit's got tons. This is the perfect situation to play for the clip.
Where could he be? Trent. He's tucked cowering. They don't clear him. Oh my. Completely dodged and avoided. But Trent just praying he can hold on to this. He hears the ropes as well. Players running straight into him. MTA, he's baiting him so he can get the ace! Oh! Oh, that's beautiful.
And iBuyPower actually seething at that. We have to give away another one of those PCs. So fraudulent. No, that was a sick round from Kesnit. And it demonstrates the same thing again. Look at the angles that Kesnit is fighting to get those two on top of Generator. They're not giving G2 any space to attempt a retake. In order to set up a retake, you need at least the little bit of map control to start moving forwards. And most teams on Icebox are just going to give you that. They're like, oh yeah, we're going to play for shots, we're going to play for mollies, that kind of thing. Let's back off and play towards Belt. And instead, KRU are choking out G2. And they're also just going A every round.
Yeah. Icebox moment.
Yeah.
Go A every round.
Actually, Icebox... Icebox single piece of A4 paper scrapbook. KRU fan favourites here in the Riot Games Arena for what they did last year at LCQ.
What's the play now for G2 to try and bounce back here because it's lead? Got away from them.
Yeah, I mean, they could try doing something like a triple push down mid, see if they can overwhelm Shy, who's normally been holding that, and get a flank retake. That's something they could attempt. I think it's worth trying that kind of thing on the eco, so then you can just stack 4 players A on rifle rounds. But that's what they'll have been discussing during the timeout. To be honest, this one's a bit of a throwaway. And then G2 have to win 3 rounds straight to get it to overtime, assuming that KRU can convert here.
Balls in their court. At point, ready and waiting.
The big danger in this round is, of course, Leaf with his Blade Storm. But MTA can kind of just hold on to his knife and wait to use it specifically.
Shy hears it. Turret active as well. Thrown up close. Broken. Updraft. Knives. Missed.
Yeah, and didn't kill. Instantly, Shy calls for reinforcements. The KRU players are there. Backing.
I said it earlier, but the way KRU just worked the map, really making sure to get every single second out of them. MTA.
What is that? That's from on top of Generator, like the op angle. What a shot.
What the hell is that? Molly sent flying. Kesnit still here, lurking around the corner. He's going to be meeting Net only with the Sheriff. Jiggling. Spots it. He's kind of stuck in his position right now. I need some help from the rest of his team because there's just lurks over the top. Updraft play. Kesnit baiting like he could be there, trying to force him out wide into the open net, seeking to deny the plan from getting off here, but this is around us falling to pieces unless Leaf can do something about it. Ooh, vulnerables into your forwards. Shy is running away. Here's the noise cue. This is a really hard round. You even cleared this corner. Melzer wants to take the fight straight to them. Okay, it's traded.
But there goes Leaf with his Blade Storm.
Picks up a rifle. Orbital strike for Valorant. It's still got 1 smoke. I think maybe there's a chance, but no, Kesnit just want to fight some straight up. Okay, swinging wide. Yeah. Confidence in the aim. I respect it.
That's a masterclass round called by Melzer as well. They insert Melzer up tube into kitchen at the very start. Kesnit continues to apply that lurk pressure with his aggression towards B. And even after they lose MTA to a great shot from Leaf, they've got pressure onto Net, a lurk to pick up Trent, and the B site is theirs. They are really showcasing how to play a slow attack side on Icebox here.
Now looking at map point. Needs to try and stop this. Operator again with the drone, this time breaking it. Doesn't push himself off the angle, actually, just keeps it, holds the ground.
And I think that's the kind of confidence you need, because they've got to get info to deny Kesnit going for his lurks up towards B.
Hard to hold that angle with the op, though. It's 2 positions. You can't hold both of them. Into mid now. Kesnit there with the knives.
This looks like Net is going to be asked some serious questions of him. Once this alarm bot gets broken, and they know it's here.
Trying to find it. Just running straight through. Not even using util to clear. Updraft. They're just going straight into their spawn. This is almost unheard of. There's a dart to clear it. Dash through into the back of it. All the way through. Valorant this time will contain, but Net. There's the questions asked of him. Melzer taking him out. It's even trades across the board. 3 versus 3. Trent moving forward. Still, they know a player's there. Straight up through the mid to A. Meltzer. 1v1 now. Spike in his hands. Let me get the plant off here.
Leaf spotted way earlier, didn't get seen in mid. And Leaf's picked up a Vandal, exchanged it for the AWP.
This is it. Keep your team in the map.
Yeah, Melzer doesn't have the orb on the spike, so these snake bites are not a death sentence for Leaf. Melzer will have to peek at some point.
Melzer. Opportunity of a lifetime. Silently working your way all the way across. Players down. Up close. Corners. Will the fight be won? Yes, Melzer. What a way to take the map, Crew.
I'm intrigued. I think Double Initiator does seem super strong for heavy execs, but Double Controller is also pretty decent for trying to play a little slower, and that seems more towards Crew's style. Let's have a look then. So they've got a bit of a lurk Viper wall over towards B. You would expect that to be countered by the trip most of the time, and Crew not slowing down at all.
Oh, this is fast. Yep, Leaf was there though to meet it. There's a Prowler ahead of it just in case of the unbreakable trip, and Jonah P seeking to contain. The new to mid is compromised. 2 players will fall. Another fight to be taken. Bit of a dink there. Damage being done. So Melzer, weak, but still claims that kill. And that's, oh my god, saving his teammate's life there. Out towards the side. It's G2.
Wow. Yeah, that was a fast one. I mean, just from the very first pick, where I barely saw a Crew member peek their head into market, and it got ripped off. That was an extremely simple dismantling, but I don't think it really told us too much about the compositions just there. Just that G2 have really nice, quick responses to B splits. One of the important things to think about is that trip that Net just threw. And a lot of teams are going to have ways of breaking it, getting around it, bothering the Cypher. Crew's comp, you kind of need to land a knife onto the Cypher, or maybe just try to Prowler and run through, break the trip at the same time.
Yeah, or the KO nade.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 main options.
But I think it's going to be a bit of a bother for Crew. And you can see here, it's already allowing G2 to stack 3A.
Risky. Players tucked up into elbow. Crew just seeking to get the orbs online.
It's a tough defensive Viper wall to get through as well from Trent. Hard to get through either side of the A split.
Entirety of this A side is really just under lock and key with the amount of players. They got the crossfire set up. Jonah Peach is close to the corner. Any attempt there. A lot of players meeting them head on. He has some cheese, not enough really with the range to try and break that one, pushing forwards. Shy. Side that smoke as well, but he's just going to be spotted out entirely. Clean round from G2.
Yeah, keeping all of that weaponry online. Aside from Jonah P, and class gets cleaned up. Leaf creeping towards the ultimate. He had a big start on the previous map as well, and then cooled off. But that raise up is going to be massive on the defense side. It's also interesting, even just to think about the roles a little bit on Crew. Shy, we're seeing playing Viper here, rather than either of the 2 initiators. Something to think about with Crew, maybe expanding their playbook and the flexibility a little bit of where they want these people to play. Of course, Shy is filling in the Sentinel role for this team, rather than an initiator like he has done in the past.
Yeah, so it makes some level of sense.
It does, yeah.
Guns, Crew. All the rifles here. Fade eye into me, the Prowler on the left side here, but like you said, you know, this Viper wall that Trent's laid down, it's really quite tough to chew through.
I think Crew are going to have the most success if they manage to pick him off before he can even realize there's someone there, as you saw Kesney going for. Ooh.
20 HP just tipping away here. No kills.
Kesney up to his lurks. Same kind of thing he was doing on Icebox.
Yep. In place tap, the smoke up into his face, but here we go. Drop down! What a flick and adjustment. Trade online for Jonah P.
That's such an important kill that Jonah P gets. Because if Kesney starts to get rolling and opens up A for the rest of his team, you're going to have all the same issues that you did on the previous map. Jonah calls for reinforcements, Valen in his spot.
Jiggle. The angle, what a cheeky way to do it, but Shy was only on 20 health as well. Maybe could have got away with that as well if he had a bit more health to him. Team running out now, trying to scale onto the side towards the back of the box. Jonah P was blinded up, and Valen narrowly assists, not with a smoke in his face.
Valen was slow on that paranoia. It didn't catch onto MTA, and that's why Jonah P died. So now a 3v3.
Planted.
G2 have a flanker. Here comes Net.
Nets.
Wow.
The Bulldog, he wins it. Those are brought down. 2 players still anchored, tucked to the side as MTA and Klaus.
Cover going out.
Do have those rifles, but it's a really difficult one to try and win. Time being taken. Nade towards the back. Klaus still stand this ground and hold this space here. Do they think this is cleared? Over the top though. Spotting it out actually with that satchel all the way. MTA's close in their face. They don't have a clue. And it followed up and turned it into a 1v2. Net here still. It's got the rifle, but so much to do. And MTA, a 4K in this round. This guy might be a newcomer to this stage. A lot of unknowns circling around this guy, but he has stepped up massively so far.
It's been amazing. And the KO on both maps, filling in the flex role. What an addition. I think it's fair to say that expectations were not massively high for him. He's somewhat of an unknown player coming up to the tier 1 level. But he's fit into this squad and added a lot of firepower. And his timing is really strong too.
Yeah.
We've seen some people get nervous in their first game. Even in this season, actually. But he has just stepped up instantly.
You two forced down.
Yeah, a bit of a skirmish there, over towards the A side. Good response from Valen, keeping them back.
Drone on spot, duration running out.
My ult is ready.
Cheeky with the orb, but the one way really does just prevent anybody from swinging. Again, same playbook the crew are really operating on through Icebox, making the most of the time. The clock really wearing this one down, seeing what it can get done with these low timings. Melzer can TP past this one, just walks up and breaks it though. Nade from Leaf, he's expecting the split. There are players into mid. They lost control of that a little bit earlier, but no commitment.
I think breaking that trip earlier in the round would have had massive consequences, but with only 45 seconds, crew do now have a little bit of time pressure to finish on one of these sites.
Kesn's just walked up. Valence missed it with the peak. The jiggle timing here. All the way close to the corner. He can really just do so much work for the rest of his team. No one's watching this. Crouched to the box.
30 seconds
Kesnet
left.
clearly spots the gun. Spots the gun! And there's one kill. There's the second!
His timings are absurd.
Absolutely ridiculous. 20 seconds left into the corner. They are dropping all over the place here. G2, no chance now for the round. And
Spike
he knows it.
planted.
If you think about a map where Kesnet dominates, right? You just picture average Kesnet domination. Most people picture him running at people, stomping them, winning aim duels. Actually, this match, most of what he's been doing is finding perfect lurk timings on Jet and now Chamber, up weaving his way through the defenses.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, he's demonstrating extremely high game IQ. I can't believe the timing he found there.
They're hunting out his last gun. No players really surrounding him, so Net should be safe.
And a lot of the space that was gathered for Kesnet is off the back of Melzer breaking that trip on B. And it pulled back the defenders on A. Because crew are spread around the map. And G2 can't really get a feel for where they are. The information game is certainly being won. Let's stay alive.
Oh my.
So there's a silver lining, but not much of one.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's the information game. You know, when I say about crew
Good
playing slow in these rounds and making the most of the time that they've got available to them, you still need to be doing stuff in the round. Still need to be breaking a lot of that preset utility, the passive map control that G2 have.
Yeah, 1 HP, the Observer's highlighting there.
Wow.
But a lot of the damage had already been done. G2 are going to have to start getting more proactive, I think, in re-clearing on defense in order to just get an idea for where crew are. And if they can catch the players who are playing to contain, maybe they can even get picks out of it too. It's difficult though, because with how slow and quiet crew are around the map, you might just run into the stack if you decide to defensively re-clear an area.
Net spots it. Mid players, they know it's compromised. It's only up to Trent here with a Sheriff in hand.
Now crew know where the single rifle is.
They're walking themselves all the way into mid. Leaf's on the flank himself, right behind them, but he doesn't have a gun to try and take that fight long range. And it's just crew ripping them to shreds into the top section of mid. Shy is watching for it because it was all commed. Notice the second player there. Valen. Straight through with a stinger.
I think it's a consolation prize, though.
Yeah.
It's going to be really difficult for Net to commit to this. He's only got 450 credits because he rebought armor and he didn't get the loss bonus. So, KRU again demonstrating that they're finding the holes. There were 2 people watching mid, and yet they smoked it off, quietly walked in. The contact play and the fact that there's so many of them grouped up is finding every gap. And the G2 players can't get their one and back around the corner. They're just getting knocked instantly. KRU is in form and coming in with kind of an extension of what their style was during LCQ.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
It bears mentioning, again, that KRU did not go into champs and dominate, right? They had that run at LCQ, but they weren't actually able to convert it into any success at Champions. They didn't convert it into any success in the off-season. But now they're coming into the games that matter in 2024. And they're looking great, like they didn't skip a beat from the end of LCQ.
Yeah. Early timeout taken by G2, but potentially necessary. The only 2 rounds they burn have been off the pistol and the follow-up.
Enemy remaining.
And I think they're lacking so much information. The thing is, both of those ultimates actually require a bit of information about where KRU are in order to use them properly, right? They're good at stopping a big exec or good at stopping a plant from going down. But if KRU are just quietly walking around the map and then they burst onto you, it's really difficult to find good timings for those defensive ults. That's part of the puzzle here for G2 to solve.
Honestly, an op wouldn't go amiss, I think. KRU again. 1-4 setup. Doesn't see anything.
A knife from MTA aimed towards where they've seen Net in the past.
Really deep drone. Sees. No connections. MTA, where's this one going? Probably landing into market, I have to guess.
But Net has rotated his setup, so he's playing over towards A. And that market knife not catching onto anybody. Trent dodges it. It's so
But it's
slow.
passive, right?
So quiet. Impossible to tell that KRU have 4 players in mid.
This is a repeat of the previous round.
But now they have the camera instead of bodies watching.
Smokes. Surely they hear the footsteps as well. Net! Backs away, Hunter's Fury. This feels very, very improv. Just an attempt to punish all that space that was granted and gained. And Kesden in the mix of all of it. The chaos of the situation, he capitalizes.
Face your fear!
Straight there towards the back now. Fade ult. Nightfall scatters it into the back here, but no connections onto Trent. And Trent has a hard time of it, but does maintain his composure. Still paranoia into his face, and he's got players all about him. Valen, he's there. He did manage to find those 2 kills up into the top section of it, and Jonapi stayed alive this whole time. They flipped the entirety of this match. Showstopper! It's dealt with! Leaf's taken away. MTA dropped to his knees, but still going to be granted that information to them because Valen is the last one left. They know exactly where he is. The face, the timing. Ooh.
And the trade. Leaf's decision-making there, the timing is so brutal. He's watching the left side of Pillar for a long time, waiting for an attacker to peek. And then he thinks, right, well, I've got to go for it now. I have to ult. It's getting so late. And that's exactly as one of the KRU guys swings around the spot that Leaf was holding. Brutal. But G2, again, so many questions being asked of how they're going to respond to unusual positioning and pathing from KRU. And Kesnet is the player to open things up once more.
Yeah. I think you'd have a lot less agency when you're locking into the chamber, but still been finding the value. It's all about just the contact plays, I mean, just finding those gaps.
He's not even trying to play inside his rendezvous, is he?
No.
It's not like he's trying to play it as a, I'll get one and get out.
Yeah, that's how you, I think that's how you got to play it into this comp.
Yeah, as a hard lurker. So now Trent anchoring with the help of these 2 trapwires.
Look at them, they're just walking all the way up. I mean, they can just walk up to this trip, spot it out, hear it, break it, paranoid into the back. Trent is in a lot of trouble. And look at that, Prowler in his face on top of it, they're running him down. Didn't stand a chance, man. Not a chance.
Absolutely brutal. It's like KRU are playing with wall hacks on. They know exactly what the setup looks like, dismantling it with perfection, not using any utility when there's no threat. And this is a team with an immaculate read on what's going on around the map.
It's a forced buy by G2. Don't have any money. Next, dodgy weapons. They've just got to save.
Valen and Josh must be scratching their heads. Again, it's not like KRU are using tons of utility and stomping their way into A, making it obvious that they're ending on that side of the map.
Yeah.
G2 only realized that it's a heavy commitment once the trap's been broken and a paranoia is already in the face of Trent. By that point, nothing too much they can do about it. It looks really good so far from KRU. Bear in mind that this was their map pick. So they're confident here. They have an unusual composition, one that Athena liked on the desk. And they've already got map 1 under their belt.
Yeah.
This is looking excellent so far.
Set up for a slam dunk. At this point, 5-2.
Net's just getting spammed off minimap there.
Yeah. Got to make changes. Got to make changes. G2 with a timeout. Now,
Burning your second timeout after 7 rounds.
yeah.
And that shows you how lost G2 are at the moment.
I can think of a couple of options for them. Like I said earlier, the operator. Now, they don't have the economy for it. If they pick up the op, they can try and punish some of these lurk timings as well. You can hold down one of the avenues on the map without really, needing utility.
The question is, though, as well, Brent, where are they going to opt? Because over towards A, there's going to be a lot of smokes utility in their face, right? It's going to be really difficult against the Viper setup. With like the Viper smoke and Omen smokes to be able to get good lines, unless they play really deep A. Suppose you could try to opt B main a little in
B
front
main,
of the
I
Viper
think.
wall.
I mean, they've been given a lot of space in B main. Jonah P a couple of times was droning deep in it.
Yeah, yeah.
You can allow an op to get in there. Maybe mid as well. I mean, mid is where they are really getting exploited. Market player of an op.
Yeah, I think if G2 wanted to play extremely aggressively, trying to fight for mid control towards the beginning of the round would be useful, but a little dangerous and a little difficult with their composition. Desperate times, though, are going to call for some desperate adjustments.
See what the call is here. Deep play. Dart tagging onto 2.
Look, I mean,
The Viper Orb, though, I mean, it stops them from being able to play up any sort of aggression. They are close to it, though. A lot of players tucked to the corner. Jonah P was playing anti-flash. Just never to set that up. Leaf just taking a fight straight to them. Jonah P still don't want to hold their ground down. And will they find any value from it? The paranoia was perfect from Melza. Pushes those players all the way back out of it, but it's still a 3 versus 3. ADS 2, Jonah P! 3 for him. Might be on for the ace.
dodges the Prowler. G2 finding success playing way in front of where the usual line of scrimmage would be. And Net's coming around behind.
Disrespect is how they're aiming to win this one. Smoke sent flying, top side of mid.
You got to remember, though, the weaponry is still so low. Jonah's been able to pick up 3 with the Guardian, but can he manage to gain additional kills? Do they feel confident enough to go for the weaponry that's dropped? If the plant goes down on B, you would imagine
30 seconds
so.
left.
30 seconds. Yeah, they don't know if they're just cutting noise out towards A here. Holding for the ground.
Cover going.
Deep dart, surely at this point, as soon as the trap, yeah. They're going to be starting to grab at least one of the guns. It's Net. Plan here, gives some info. Note that both of them are on B, so the players can start rushing into the site to try and take this one. But still, it's just a sheriff. Night 4. Our connection, Trent. Grab any of those audio cues, and a backside position this game is a great call by KRU. In the moment here, they're doubled up. It is some semblance of awareness. Jonah P still there, and there it is. It is found right when they needed it.
If that's what it takes, though, Jonah fighting with a Guardian, acing it, KRU.
You cannot escape.
I don't think that's the call from Josh in the tactical timeout.
Yep.
Jonah, buy a Guardian and ace them.
How many, how much is it per PC? How many aces have we had now? Is this the 3rd one? I got power.
Yeah.
Marketing guy is sweating. He's sweating.
No, boss, I promise, it was a good idea.
It's a good idea.
Jonah, take this gun. I'll get you a gun here.
Okay, so now G2, with rifles in hand, what lessons did they learn from that? What was the thing that contributed to the win? I think it was playing pretty aggressive. Now, it's hard against these Viper smokes, but you got to try and get set up before KRU have taken a bunch of map control. I mean, look at it, though. G2 getting pushed back behind the Viper Orb from Shy. Leaf's kind of stuck in this corner. They're using the drone to get back up on an aggressive angle, but KRU have already left.
What's Kesnet? Trademark. dealt with. But again, yeah, it's this mid players. They've already looked up again past the angle. It's just an off-angle approach from Trent to try and hold it. Same smoke all the way through. Prowler connecting. Trent's got so much to do here as the lone player. They're going to be walking right into him! Rips away two.
Yeah, that's major. Massive player advantage here now. That trap broken. Melzer trying to be a menace. But what I'm noticing again is crew are not afraid of mid at all. They're just walking around there. Not a care in the world.
Waltz it up. Paranoia into the corner. Elsa trying to remove some of this utility. They don't have market control here. There's a risk here. Melzer almost adjusts for the second, but the trade online for net. They do have that market control now for crew. Moving forwards. One player remaining. It's all up to Kesnet. Paranoia not dodged. He's finding himself all over the place. Door is closed. Spike up. Smoke drop down. Got himself in, but it looks so unlikely. And yeah, Leaf with the backstab.
So 2 rounds in a row now for G2. The only ones that they've been able to get on board while crew had rifles. And that time, it's just Trent being able to defend this. Punishing that contact play with an off-angle. But the fact that crew are allowed so much access to mid without using too much util at all. The first Prowler used for mid control while they were already up basically to the top. That worries me.
They're taking it for free.
Yeah, they really are.
Now towards B. Oh god, the Prowlers! It's point them directly to Trent, and now that pit is no longer a pesky problem.
And it's not like Trent had any support there in B main, just trying to get it down on his own. But he picked the exact wrong round to do it. I don't think crew have been playing B main heavy at the start of these rounds at all. And yet this was the moment that they decided to go for it. A read, perhaps, on where Trent was going to put that pit? Or just good luck for crew. Either way, they'll take it. It's a 5v4.
You get the opening. They force the ult out of Valen for the reposition, expecting a fast play explosive off of it. But they just cut noise again.
And this would be a great round to end A. You know? Without Trent having that wall to be able to play behind. And that's what Klaus is trying to make it look like. Throwing his Prowlers, trying to get Leaf off the line, and he's pulling Valen and Jonah P towards A as the rest of crew are ready to walk out B.
It's so believable because crew really aren't using that much util in the first place. Paranoia in through the corner, but net still open. Pit, Hunter's Fury. That's a connection, but he wasn't expecting Melter. Have a TP to disengage. Klaus up through mid. Instant trade by Leaf. Good reactions from that one. Immediately turns around. Plan finally getting down. 2 versus 3 though with the pit. Really difficult.
They're going to need some spam kills here, Brent. And they're going to allow the pit to go down, actually.
Decay, damage, Leaf dropping down. Clearing all of it, and yeah, you're right, the pit goes down, but interesting smoke from Melzer. Shot down, kills. There, last player notified. Shy. He's got so much more to do. 150 health. Dart towards the back. It's a double face. G2. Pull that one from the brink.
Insane shock from Jonah P. Once the Viper pit went down, they realized they were everybody in B main.
Yeah.
And the shock was like a homing missile. That's a bit of a slip from crew.
You're up.
Should have had that one, I think, in the bag. Especially after picking up Trent so early on and denying that. And then taking down the side tanker.
Ouch.
This is now going to make it a much more competitive game. The score is 5-5. I'm not sure it feels like it. Crew have been very dominant up until these final few rounds, where G2 have started to wake up again.
It's taken heroics. G2 to make it nice and even.
We haven't seen a Kesnet lurk to win the round in a while.
Fast B main from crew. Very different. What they're usually doing. Still with these trips, getting rid of the cam potentially up there, but it's not. Trip down to the floor. They can jump over this. Not choosing to do so.
Yeah, that's decent information, actually, later on for Kesnet to potentially abuse. Look at the call here. They're going to try and make pressure around the rest of the map, and then I think Kesnet is going to go for the jump over that trip. Genuinely, he's mad. I believe it.
There's a cam in the corner. Put a trademark there to try and clear it. Leaf holding close. He's got a showstopper to do so. One of the luxuries that you've got. Lovely flash from MTA. And Leaf, he can't see a thing. Doesn't know if they scaled up close to him here. He's going to be feeling the panic. Settling in, but crew not really taking much speed into it.
Is Kesnet going for the Fosbury flop?
He's really thinking about it. Okay.
He went to break it instead. Okay, fair enough.
Rest of his team grouped up on 2A. There's only 35 seconds left. Smoke renewed with the one-way. It's Valen setting that one up for the defense here. They know that there could be players in the
30
elbow. They've
seconds
completely
left.
given it up. But the lower this time gets, the worse it could be, especially when Leaf still has this showstopper and seeks to deny any of the plan or even of the space getting in. No! Rocket goes flying, but no kill there. Just the damage on top. Melzer just TP'd. Ballsy play, but he earns the 1 kill, at least with the trade still there. G2, maybe they can make something of it. 6. 2 seconds left. Jonah P in through the back. Takes out Shy. 1 HP with the decay kicking in. Leaf still there. Beautiful work. Precise with the shots.
G2 hold on. That one was close. Same kind of idea again from KRU. Walking all the way up to the Viper wall for free and then using utility through it. That time though, Leaf and Valen doubled up, able to pick off at least, or do enough damage and get a kill at least, to be able to make it slightly easier for the rest of their squad. And crucially, Kesnit only went 1 for 1 on his lurk. I mean, if you can keep Kesnit to only going 1 for 1, that is genuinely a win condition for G2.
On here.
What a comeback. Very reminiscent of Icebox, but the other way around. G2 themselves having to come up with the adaptation in the first half. In the second quarter, now double offing. You were talking about that being a potential solution.
Great way to stop these contact plays, but there is util being used and expended to take B main control. Knife to the corner, it's dodged. Another Prowler there. The trips nowhere to be found. Flash from MTA in through the back here, trying to take the fights to him. Valen needs to stay alive. He's got to buy time for the rest of the team. Util in his hands. Melzer. He strikes right when the timing was correct. 3 players now into the back of the site, making sure they can reclaim that spike and get that plant down now.
Kesnit was almost going down to the raise nade there from Leaf. He's so weak. Taking an aggressive position.
Jump spot almost punished. Laying down a second molly, a smoke now to follow. Trent using it. Pushing the positions. The players are low here. Melzer's watching the smoke. Where's the trade? It's there from Net, but instantaneous! And KRU on point with it. The discipline that's carried them this far makes it to a 6-6 half.
Switching sides.
Same as Icebox. And a very similar story, but the side slipped. I mean, that is G2 being forced to maneuver and make their own adjustments to what was going on. They did a decent job of it, but I'm still really impressed with how KRU are calling. And this no duelist composition seems like it has a ton of threats on defense as well.
Well, it does. Anyone's game so far as well. Potential for continuation in the series as well, but his first half up in...
Now to not lose their opening match and take it to a third.
Couldn't agree more with that one, Mimi. Let's send it back over to Brennan Sideshow.
We'll see how this one ends up shaking out. Right away with the barriers dropping, a lot of players ready to meet with a bit of a skirmish. Melzer holding that paranoia on for the left side approach. Dark clearing, not seeing too much, but here's the refight as well. For Audi, smokes is anyone's game, but it's Klaus who's filling up the feed once more with all green. One player left standing, it's Net on the opposite side of the map.
And it looked like Leaf could have been the difference maker there. He actually slipped into the Viper orb without KRU knowing. But he wasn't able to find too much value from it.
Fight into mid, Kesnit.
KRU win their first pistol round of the series so far. I think that's incredibly telling that KRU have kept it this close and been able to win map 1 without being able to lean on those pistol rounds. Their gun round play has been excellent.
Yeah.
That spells bad news ahead potentially for G2. Unless they've got really good mid-rounding, as Mimi and Athena were talking about on the desk. On the couches, I should say.
Yeah, the couches. Throw me for a mix.
Yeah, GB's making a specific point about
I'm gonna blame the producer. I'm gonna throw a producer under there.
under the couch.
Under the couch.
So the different Viper setups from both of these teams. Instead of a lurk B Viper setup on the attack, it's over towards A. And on defense, Shy looking to anchor B. And that allows Kesnit to play this aggro setup. Ooh. Here comes Shy.
All the way through there. Yeah, Shy tucked close towards this one. Now it is an eco round, but with the plant, get some extra money here. I mean, even not even extra money, extra damage being done. It's 3 versus 3. Somehow, in the middle of all of this, with the plant down, got to think somewhat winnable. But Shy still alive towards the back of the site, along with the rest of his team here. Lovely nade from MTA. No more kills to be claimed there.
Last player standing.
Cleaning up the rest of these players beautifully. Nets only got the classic. Only got a classic. Not enough to do, but still. Bit of danger towards it. They did some damage to the economy. And the plant online for G2. Not the worst case scenario in the world for an eco round.
No, not the worst case. Not by any means. But you take a look at the way that KRU's got their defensive setups working, and that looks like a bit of a tough nut to crack. They don't have that Cypher trip, right? So that's one of the things that is not an issue for G2 to deal with, but they have to get through the snake bites, the wall over towards B as well, and anytime they want to fight A, they're going to be pushing into double initiator utility to set up Kesnit to take early fights. Kesnit might not find it as easy as all that, though, because of the Viper wall in his face. So these fights over towards A are going to be very interesting. Who wins? Initiators or controllers?
Yeah. I mean, this is awkward. I love the idea. Rendezvous set up to his back. He set him up onto this angle, but as the wall goes down, along with the orb, Kesnit free to play in this spot. Still within the safety range. So he's going to be getting all that control, passive map control the entire time, calling for his teams. But he is backing away now from that angle, just from the door being broken in mid.
Kesnit loves being active. And it looks like G2 have
this fight.
a bit of an idea that he might have moved off, because they're starting to re-explore as the Viper util gets cycled.
His game plan just seems to be just follow all the sound cues.
It worked for them on Icebox. It really did.
Anytime there's a semblance of noise being made, this time. Pressure here. Trademark broken.
It is a
Lee's
fake,
faking
though.
like he's that. Yeah, okay. Satchel.
Look at where the spike's going. I mean, this seems like a great read from what they learnt on Icebox about the way that KRU likes to play their defenses. Because KRU were stacking 4 people wherever G2 made noise. And this time, very first time that G2 have rifles on board,
30
they
seconds
run a
left.
fake.
The hook line sinker, yeah, exactly so. Gives them open access to it. Still 5 players remaining though for KRU on the retake, but they don't have the rifles necessarily. That is really unfortunate timing. I mean, Leaf just unaware of the fact that that was going to be fading. He goes down, he's giving them a gun on top of it.
They don't have
down, they don't have post-plant.
util.
Everybody through main here. This is going to come down to spam with the guns and maybe a bit of util on top of it. Damage definitely being done. Players are low right now. Diffuse, tapped, trying to force out that first wave of this one, but MTA didn't expect it off to the side. Smoke's still up, really forcing them all to just go out into the open, spamming, but nobody's been sticking this entire time. Mal's now diffusing. Half onto the board, everybody lining up, half onto it all the way. Where are the bullets? There they are. G2. Barely, but they do win the round with 2 players surviving.
Awesome fake, not so sure about the post plan.
Yeah.
Playing 4 players B main and Leaf alone onto the site. He seemed very out in the open, like you said, unaware that the smoke was going to drop. And then, ooh, this is...
It's precarious. I mean, reminiscent of the Haven C long.
Yeah.
Trying to play it with the guns.
And I think had there been more of a follow-up on MTA's flash, that could have gotten even more deadly for G2 and could have easily slipped out of their fingers. But 1-0 so far in terms of Valin calling the mid-rounds, because that fake set them up with a lot of success. Same kind of opening, Kesnit just staring at Viper utility to start the round.
But he's still in that spot. He's not being pushed away afterwards. Even playing in front of it. Look at him.
Yeah, Kesnit's one of those players that you have to slap down multiple times before he decides, all right, okay, I can't really get away with this. Yeah. He's so confident.
So far forward there because he doesn't want the orb to be blossomed and bloomed in his face. Meanwhile, G2, rest of the squad.
I have retrieved the spike.
Towards B. Spike being sent over towards A. They're going to try and run another fake. It looks like it. But this time, Kesnit hasn't over-rotated.
There.
All 4 players, though. It really just comes down to Kesnit. I mean, yes, this hit's coming through. Maybe some kills can be found, but they don't have the spike in this direction. Kesnit pulls back the rendezvous, he's running away. So it's an open side over towards A now. The fake is working. Leaf maybe he can get a little bit more here. Kills to be found will be absolutely excellent. He is the lone player up onto the site, but he's met his match there. Lots of players ready to find him. Kesnit not giving up all the space here, but there is a smoke again into his face. A bit of random spam. Lucky he can get his head taken clean off. He's disrespecting them and shut down in the process.
That kill gives Trent his pit, so this now becomes even more difficult.
Nightfall all the way through here. Players were low enough with the decay damage kicking in. Excuse me, MTA. We catch that one onto net, but yeah, the pit didn't go down. Trails pointing towards them. Dart over the top, broken. Jonah P. It is chaos in the mix here, but the trades are still good for KRU. Working away now into the back of this one. Only 2 players remaining for G2, and the pit still remains up. He needs to stay alive. Good adjustment from Trent. Snaps to the side here. The players alive here with it planted for the pit as well. It's looking more than 1 for them. Too difficult now. Melzer onto the high ground. Time ticking away, and Valen wins it against the counterpart.
2 rifle rounds, 2 fakes for Valen, 2 rounds won for G2.
Weak points.
Excellent maneuvering. I can't believe they sold a fake again and Kesnit moved off site. This is almost a time where you want to be hitting the tactical timeout, but it's so clear that probably Atom doesn't need to get involved. I mean, the KRU players are not dumb. They realize that they've just been faked on twice. The question is how you adjust to that. And you can't fake every attacking round. No. But conditioning it a little bit is really helpful, because now KRU are going to be certainly not over-rotating as much. And now I say that, but G2 have just made noise in B main, and immediately 2 people are starting to rotate over to help Shy.
Yeah. There's an eco though, before to stack. Especially with Kesnit just pushing all the way forwards here into the back of the site. Leaf thinks second against it. Chunk down low as well by the util. Who do they want to plant this one? They have to try and fight for backside control. They will do so now with the util pop flash. It's nice, but the guns are even nicer.
No armor for the KRU players. They just went down to a lot of blind spam there.
Spike planted.
Fake the rifle rounds. Don't fake the anti-eco rounds. Let's see if that pattern holds true. What does Valen call here? They have a large ult to be able to work with. The Raze ult, pretty decent. This is a weird one though. We've got a timeout coming out from KRU. And I'm confused by this, because if you're gonna call the timeout, why not before the eco round?
Yeah.
You've just
more time to discuss.
Yeah, you've just seen 2 fakes happen, right? So either you want to tell KRU about how to deal with the fakes, but I feel like the team should be able to manage that. Or you think you saw something interesting in the eco round, which I don't think there particularly is.
It's unlikely.
Unless Atom wants to run a specific strat, which is hard when you're on defense, but might want to call a certain defensive setup. There's an interesting dynamic with the ultimates here as well, because Valen's got in his arsenal to work with Leaf's Showstopper. And he's also got a Hunter's Fury, but both can be cancelled by MTA's null command. So you can't just send it on a site if the KO's there, because even if the knife doesn't hit you, you're going to get the Showstopper cancelled. So there's got to be some finessing around the map, figuring out where people are playing. There's more thought to this than just everybody pop ults and run at a site.
Finesse mentioned. Fakes in play. It's like he never left. We'll see what they do. I mean, Valen was making full usage of the timeout. Popping off. We'll see.
Yeah, that's
Have adjusted the setup. I mean, Kesnit's playing from elbow nose. It's a minor adjustment.
Yeah, very small one. I feel like that timeout might have helped G2 more than it helped KRU.
Potentially. Yeah. There, this time. He's into mid. Top mid smoke. Two just walking their way through here.
MTA used his knife over towards A, so now they know there's no one marking.
Paranoia. Leaf can't see anything. It's a bit of a gamble though with the blind fire still. Melzer brought down to his knees.
And look, MTA used his ult to try to cancel the Showstopper, but he was too far away. Great awareness from G2, and that's how they got the pick off the back.
Game market control, but they're just stunted for now, stopping in their tracks. B main control also. They could go for this B split, but it looks like a reclear from KRU. It's being called. They're just pushing all the way up here. Any util for it? No! The wall just goes down, and they are just cut to shreds.
Absolutely massacred. What a freeze in the round. These 3 rounds, the 3 rifle rounds from G2 have been masterclasses. Double fake, and then this one where they find out the positioning of the KO, instantly use the ultimate, and then call a freeze that baits out that reclear, and they get the punish on it. Awesome stuff. The quality of play, even for teams that we're not expecting to be right at the top of Americas, is pretty impressive to start the year.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm dead impressed.
Especially considering, you know, if you think about it, at the beginning here, some of the teams should have the least practice that they'll have at any point when you watch them this year.
But there's a lot of parity.
There is. It really feels like a lot of these matches could be going either way.
Hello, Kesnit. Hello. I mean, just not content with sitting in spawn and saving. Takes the fight to him.
Yeah.
Probably the percentage play, not gonna lie, but listen, it's Kesnit. He's got a rifle anyway, he's got his ult for the next round, he's gonna force it up.
This goes here.
Yeah, and that's a good thing to keep an eye on in this round, because it's gonna be another eco from KRU. But Kesnit could get dangerous. The thing with Kesnit having the hero life is that you probably just don't want to have him posted A doing nothing. You probably want to have him being a bit mobile around the map. So I wouldn't be surprised to see his position change.
Moved over to B.
Yeah, he might just end up stuck there though as well.
Shadows traveling.
So some extremely impressive attack side calling has led G2 to have the lead so far.
Fast again. I'm a paranoia. Nobody playing off of it though.
No
Melza
charges.
wasn't caught with the dart actually. Still close to the corner, that's Shy.
Toxin screen down.
Leaf doing his Kesnit impression.
Yeah, it's just walked all the way into mid. He might be able to catch a kill. No, Kesnit going in the opposite direction. Good game of timing. Top flash play. Repeat from MTA.
Another big play from the rookie.
See that. Shy's still close to the corner too. If this is a half clearance with Clash playing close, there's some real danger here. Real danger, but no, navigated safely. Treacherous waters, melts it in mid. Leave! Oh my god. PP hopping all over the place.
And Kesnit's the last player left alive, wondering where it's gone so wrong. And they give him a lot of respect there. Triple face on different pieces of elevation. G2 pulling out quite a lead right now.
It's the exact thing that happened on the previous half.
It really is.
Pistol round for the opposite
genuinely
team,
is.
and then just a string of rounds occurring.
It's a different style though, right? Because it's not so much the push and pull, it's more to do with G2 actually just being able to run some excellent fakes and then good ult plays. But now, another question, what's going to be happening here? G2 have been bossing it in the 4v5s as well, winning just under 50%. I mean, that's way more than you would expect after losing a player at the start of the round.
It's an insane stat, actually. In the 40s, you just don't expect that.
46% of their 4v5 so far.
Fast, though.
Whoa, there goes Leaf.
Straight in, through market. No one to the top. Melza spotted. Not taken out, though. That's Klaus. Covering the top section of the smoke there with Leaf brought down. TP's close into it. They haven't cleared the back of the site here. Shy, he's still alive. Pitting. Valen with the plant. Pit's going to be covering this one.
Spike planted.
Stretching out into the site.
They can defuse inside the pit here.
And they're picking off the players all over the place. So G2 don't really have an intact post plan other than the one player into market. That's Jonah P. He's got to try and stay alive here, maybe catching this rotate. No, not expecting it. So Kesnit just spots him out first. 2 players remaining. Valen with the flank, but the door's closed in his face. Absolute disaster here with all the smokes in play. Shy, he's safe to stick this one. Can get a half onto the defuse, but pushing up here. It's just Kesnit's time now to just stick it for his team. Trusting him, placing it. Valen can't do too much, and yet 1 round for KRU. Valen.
This is actually important.
Nice kills.
Yeah. No, those are really important kills. That's hurt the economy. I mean, look at what they've got to work with there. Melza's on 3,200, Shy's on 3,100. Those kills towards the end are actually massive. It's a Pyrrhic victory for KRU. They can't afford to win like that often. It was a bizarre round as well. I mean, the pit is such a cool idea, actually, coming out from Shy. If G2 don't want to push, pressuring backside, and he's able to get that off, it just makes the defuse so much easier. But now look at the economy difference in a round where KRU won. They can't afford to eco.
Choosing to invest into it. Good Guardians, half armor. Wagon bin buys. Orb gained, Leaf up to another showstopper. Trips there, broken with the Prowler on top of it, so
My ult is ready.
beginning here for KRU, at least over towards the A section. Kesnit going to be just holding his ground as well. Will he get overzealous? Lots of players ready to meet him now. You can feel it, the stampede right behind Trent. All grouped up now, and he's holding such a massive angle. And again, he's lost his nerve. He's pulled back his rendezvous. He wants to play even deeper, close to the angle there. Potentially anywhere right there. Would it be the trade? Kesnit! This guy's a menace.
That's outrageous. The aim is just spectacular, and he's also denied the showstopper away from Leaf. Even fewer tools to work with, and where did Melza ult to? That's what G2 will be thinking.
Wondering exactly where he could be. They've given up A entirely. They're saying there's no way they go after that. Kesnet just got 2 taken away, gambling on the fact that they're going to be going back over to B now.
And the call is so correct.
Yeah, wonderful stuff by Melzer.
This round, if Crew can secure it, is going to fix their economy
30
woes as
seconds
well.
left.
25 seconds, G2. Cautious is the approach, making sure that they contact up, don't reveal anything. Was anyone spotted? Shy maybe, potentially? Now they're making noise though. Shy's going to be aware of this one, making the call. Doesn't expect the player though. Close. Down into the lower left, that's Jonah P still staying alive with the dart as well, playing a game of timings! Ships in the night, but Jonah P wins it. Off to the side, this guy is frying! And he still has market control.
The bad weaponry there, I think, is really hurting Crew. You can't spam into smokes with the Guardian.
You're
It's
going to
just
play
nonsense. Klaus is going to try.
They're going to go a lot of util. So much to clear though. Cam there, a tap. And the timing for Jonah P works his way behind. Hello.
Okay.
On the first one, quick tap, expecting a play from a different position here. Nets doing a wonderful job of just really bleeding down the clock. Frustration for Klaus, but G2 find themselves up to 12.
Incredible play from Net. Really disciplined from Net and Valen towards the end. I seriously do think that those Guardians made a difference in those situations. When Jonah P's dancing around the smoke, I think with a rifle in hand, it's a much more even fight. It's just impossible to spam with a Guardian there. And I said that if Crew won that round, their economy woes would likely be solved, assuming a few stayed alive and grabbed some upgrades. That's not the case at all. It's just gotten worse. G2 used both of their tack timeouts in the first 7 rounds. Now, Crew are using theirs. But I think it might just be too little too late at this point.
Yeah.
It's 12-9, their economy's in shambles, they're barely going to be able to get sheriffs on the board, man. Never mind any kind of rifle. This is G2's. Signed, sealed, and delivered, I think.
Keep the series going if you are G2. We're talking about, I mean, earlier, the ults online, Leaf and Jonah P again. Hunter's Fury, showstopper this time. No ult online for MTA, can't even stop it. You can cook up a game plan if you're G2, try and go with a bit of pace here. You might find success just from the ults alone. There's so much that relies on this round right here.
And they do have a read that MTA has usually been playing A to try to set up Kesnet.
So what's the call? Is it going to be a fast B? Everybody's grouped up. G2 haven't been going for many fast plays.
And if it is a fast B, that's where Kesnet is. The only player with a rifle for Crew.
Very passive rendezvous set up from him though. In fact, closing the door initially. He's going to be hearing the rumble. Footsteps in through B main. Presence, at least with the cam.
This is too much to ask of Kesnet, surely.
Showstopper now, moving forward, that's clear, there's a flash on top of it. Rendezvous to back away against the wall. The nade will rebound. It's off to the side here, but an open site for them. Will they take backside control? They're just going to give it up. The post plan is what squandered for G2 when they got into this B's position a little bit earlier. They do have the guns if they wanted to try and play a bit of a spam wars from main. Ults online over Klaus. Spamming. Pinged into the corner. Leaf onto 50 health. Over to the side now, Nightfall. Not connecting, Leaf as well, could do so much here. Jumping through, any sort of trade in order, not quite. Hunter's Fury on top of it. Gets the nade out, the rest of his team following up through. This is the map, secured. A clean one, flawless towards the end. Continuation into the series.
Amounts of exec utility, right? This comp doesn't seem to, in my mind. You've taken away the recon dart, you've taken away all of the like crazy flashes from the Breach, Phoenix, stuff like that. So yes, G2 are going to find it easy, I think, to fight for mid on their attack side, but I don't know how they're going to get to the sites. That's a question for later on, though. For now, on the defense side, the Cypher can be really deadly. Something that Kesnet's going to have to think about when he gets there.
On a P, holding a flash underhanded to hear it with the wall going up as well, trying to really isolate those fights. Be taken, damage done with the nade on top. Jonah P stepping, getting so much value here. Even with the flash to reposition, there's an attempt by Klaus to punish that one straight through main, but it was shut down by Trent. 2 players left in market. Kesnet and Shy. Require a couple of kills. That's a great first one.
That makes it so much more winnable. They now have access to the whole of front site.
Off angle by Leaf though. Damage done, but no kill. Doesn't again. Dash forwards. That's the dice. Trent.
He must have seen Trent. He was flicking that direction. It would have come up as a question mark on the mini-map. They know that the site's clear.
And now down 2v2. Like I said, all that damage done, so Kesnet is weak, but he's already just been ripping him apart anyway. No way. Here in the util and the reload, whatever. Shy just jumped on it. Great opportunities. Left it into a 1v2 now for Net. So much to do here. The face is going to come through any minute now. Kesnet right from the back of the site. That's all him. Slowing down around in the right moment, but a pistol round granted to him once more.
We've seen Kesnet be a monster. In the previous 2 maps, he had so much impact on the attack side. And that round, they've just rescued a 2v4 to be able to win only their 2nd pistol. Not that it did them much good on Sunset, but that's a great start. They get rifles on board for Kesnet and Shy because they have so much money from the plant, from the kills, loaded into those 2 players. G2 are just going to try and fight the mid. This could be a brawl.
Smoke shot down. Really only the 1 sheriff. Klaus, jump spot. He sees everything. He's like, there's no way. Kesnet swings! No. Kesnet dashes even deeper! I mean, that's insane. It's absurd. It's absurd. Find me another player with as much confidence as Kesnet. There's no way. You see 5 players pushed up into mid on an eco. You're like, no, okay, we're going to react somewhere else. No, Kesnet's like, guys, I'm swinging, I'm fighting. If you don't follow me up, it's your fault.
Inspiration to Jet players everywhere, honestly.
I can't believe it.
Genuinely swinging into 4 players in mid with no fear.
The rest of his team's like, oh, okay, guess we've got to walk this way, follow up on it.
That's loaded a lot of kills into Kesnet, though. Because now he can play with utter confidence in this round too, and be close to his Blade Storm next round. Oh, that's a good punish, though. Valen instant there with the one-way. Don't know whether the snake bite was even required. And there's a trip to stop this lurk.
Go trip. Not playing off of it. Hello.
Not broken.
Not broken either, yeah. Kesnet is just fully lit up. Dash still there. Oh, God, straight past him. Another bite of the apple for Kesnet, but nobody there. In fact, he's just making his way into the site. Back to Jenny. Valen gets that one off. Jonah P from the high ground as well as a high-low setup. Jonah P still active, alive and kicking. But teammates to join him now with Melzer as the lone player surviving on crew. Close to it. Pop down the smoke. A bit of a tap as well. Seeing if he can force out a reaction. Everybody holds for now. Just the nade. Moving around. Melzer is hoping that somebody oversteps the boundaries and maybe he can be granted free kill. Unlikely. Another tap. Look at the discipline of G2. Fully grouped up now. 3 players are not willing to let this slip. All together now. Nice attempt by Melzer. But safe hands ultimately for G2.
It is good team play, good discipline, making sure that they're double facing. The high-low setup as they swing out onto heaven, triple face towards the end too. In all of those instances though, somebody from crew was still able to get a kill. So these crew players are sharp.
Game's on point.
You can see the value of the Cypher though, able to spread all across the map, gathering information in all sorts of different places. And that same trip is up again. They're worried about Kesnet's lurks, and with good reason.
Get out of my way!
Blade Storm finally online for Kesnet. Particular attempt there with the bullets, but now he's clearing through Cat with the rest of his team. Really chance to explode with a flash. A dash available, updraft, potentially the same trip in the exact same spot. Walks up to it.
Taking away information from G2 in that area, and still a 1-3-1 default for crew. Shy starting to come over to play with the pack a little more, but always got options of ending A or ending B right now.
Good utils being used, making sure nobody can swing from these angles. A re-clear with the flash. Doesn't get too much done now. Just that presence into mid, making a bit of noise there. 2 players still meeting them. G2 grouped up with a knife. Dodge. Kesnet still got a Blade Storm. Paranoia's beautiful on top of it. Doesn't have a dash, so Kesnet can't really just jump onto the opportunity. Still close to Generator. Needs to be some help here for Trent. Holding it down, but he can't do it against it.
30 seconds.
Crew, Kesnet, the rest of the squad, they've got every single avenue watched for.
Amazing skill on show here, being demonstrated by KRU. NTA in particular, the X factor for this team. I didn't have super high expectations. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. KRU are just finding so many moments to let their skill be shown. If we catch,
I mean,
yeah, if we catch MTA in the replay here, I mean, the coordination from the team is excellent, but then Lucky just zips both of those players trying to set up a high-low.
sublime stuff.
Coming back. Out of charges.
That experimentation at G2 with this composition maybe going a bit amiss. We'll find out though. Still early days, but 3 rounds for KRU on their attack side of Ascent is already getting off to a great start, forcing G2 down to the eco. Looking like they're probably going to be able to claim that 4. Shy, still there. Kesnet, look at this guy, hunting for the kills.
Yeah, this is already amazing work from KRU. G2 need to make sure that when KRU actually funnel into the sites, they have crossfires set up and pieces of utility ready to go.
And fire from Net. Earns a free one. Grouping up now, making sure they cut the noise. In and out this trip proved troublesome, but still they don't really have the guns to be holding the defense, anchoring players towards the back. That's Leaf and Net still close together. Paranoia, Net again. Finally, this guy's dealt with. He's already done so much more now with that Sheriff, and he's granted a bit of an opening here for Leaf. Round for the back, no Shy. Just runs him down. Shuts it all down on top of it. Klaus, he's out wide here. Bit of danger towards it. Trent. That's 2 straight to the dome. Shy and Klaus down, double face, out wide, Melzer, 1v1, him versus Trent, wins it with the classic.
Fantastic communication from G2, calling out the damage that had already been done to Melzer there, ensuring that Trent felt comfortable using the classic. And what a round from Trent and from Net. Net's 2 shots with the Sheriff opening that one up and halting the momentum of KRU. What is that?
Straight through the wall. Free fire onto the corner.
Crazy stuff. God, you're not going to be able to do this every time though, and so G2 still need to make these adaptations to deal with what KRU are generally going for in the rifle rounds. Leaf is currently 0-5, but he's picking up the operator for the next round. And he's looking to try to take fights in mid. He's going to be favored on these fights because he's got control of the Viper wall.
KRU not looking towards mid. B main seems to be their aim, but look at that. Pulled out of Jonah P already. No command. Waving through. They're going to be waiting this one out. Everybody suppressed, just cutting noise.
And that's because all of the utility there made it feel like a fast B-pop, especially that KO flash through the window. Line up.
Snake bite. Nades. All combined. Final pulse does it. Lockdown's destroyed. Players are rotating though. Maybe the goal of this was to try and fake. But no, Spike. Okay, I mean, Melzer still got this one. They're into the site here. Kesnet is traded, though. In through the back. That's a TP and a committal now from KRU. Already walking up, but they're blinded. MTA didn't stand a chance. 3 players now onto lane. Bit of a pause and a drop down. Still trying to cover those angles. How is Klaus getting away with that? Balin, Utilo in his hand. Straight through the walls. It's on net. An Odin playground. What can Klaus do? Lit up now with a neural theft. Lucky does not get spammed. A tap. Once more, has to wait for the second pulse of it. Has to keep moving. Shot dart now committing out towards Dice, and a double play from the G2 players is enough to seal it up. 3-3 now.
The Odin just ripped through them there. Phenomenal stuff. And KRU got slowed down because they tried to teleport Melzer into sight with the spike, and he had to cancel. So then they waited for a long time to try to get in, because they were waiting for Melzer to come and deliver the spike so that they could get into sight in that disciplined fashion.
That Odin, baby, let that Odin sing.
And now Trent with his ult towards B main. This is where Kesnit's currently playing. They could try to do something fast, but no. A little bit of discipline, probably worried about that Odin.
That was making work with it. They've spotted. Drone pushing away. They've got to know now that mid compromised. Three players onto Cat. With the guns, though. That was into mid, actually. Just net.
Yeah.
Straight through market. Pushed up, though. Spotted. Spam. Through the wall. High pen weapons. Leaf only be able to return the one. Jump spot. Any damage done? No. There's a shot gone wide. And all that space as well. The scaling from Shy. Didn't want to overstay his welcome there. Back to the Jenny. The MTA. What an entry. It's fast a bit. Quick with it. Now with a bit of pace. Spike still with them on top of it, so it's a 3v3, and a retake of Leaf with the operator makes this one a really difficult task. Not looking for the plant just yet, though. Now MTA goes for it. Holding to the corner. The cam's really causing issues here. Shot dash there. Ult popped off. Flash over the top. Spam into the corner. Straight through the wall. That's net. He's gone down and out. Onto the floor. MTA is going to be able to provide them with that information here. Facing that wide. Counts of another one. And KRU win it.
What on earth? What a response from KRU. It felt like the momentum had been snarled up in round 5 and round 6 off the back of the eco that he ended up losing, but they've pulled that one out of nowhere. It's mostly this play.
Yeah.
The fact that they got 2 people into tree without Jonah P knowing.
Klaus of these.
Yeah.
Follow up at the end.
And MTA with the entry.
Yeah.
I mean, being able to get onto Valen before Valen can use his paranoia, I think is a big error for Valen.
Ferrari peak.
He needs to be able to use his paranoia to stop KRU once they actually commit to the sites. Well, there it goes. But this is an eco round.
Just trying to set it up, aren't they? Maybe get Leaf this orb. Played some for the next round, but he's twice about it. Backing away now with the drone. Kisnet straight through mid. Can set up with the rest of his team. Big rotations from G2 now.
And Leaf, by the way, since you were talking about him getting his Blaze online, is having an absolute nightmare of an opening to this. It's just getting absolutely outclassed by Kesnet.
Walking forwards.
Recalling my boss.
When you run the Cypher, there's no turret to just take your contact. These players manage to tuck themselves up into a deep position. The cam.
I think that's seen Kesnet.
No. They are rotating away. They are none the wiser.
There's
and
no
Kesnet
way.
has slunk in, hasn't he? Look at this guy. Fox in the pen. Trip taken out. It's a completely open site, and he's making a call.
I'm surprised he even wanted to break it. But okay, they've given the game
30
away.
seconds left.
But the spike's getting delivered. Can close cross.
Okay.
With a skip of the hop.
Yep, Melzer, TP across as well. Sight. Stairs haven't actually properly cleared this one, but Klaus, okay, they suspect that everybody has rotated off with the call there still. Okay, meeting them. It is just the firepower, the manpower with the Hunter's Fury on top. Maybe enough to try and settle this one because he's eager to take the fight once more. Just facing wide into it. Shy for B main. Is still watching that one, but listen, it's the Kesnet show, goddammit. This guy, he can't be stopped. One's a little bit more. Shy finishes that fight. 3-5. KRU leading here. Attack side of Ascent.
It's not just the outskilling, but that is there. I mean, Kesnet, Shy, even MTA on some of these entries they've just been phenomenal with the gun skill. But also Kesnet demonstrating that super high IQ in order to find the entry for his team by lurking his way past the cam. That's a split-second timing and super reminiscent of what he was doing on Icebox and Sunset and now here again on Ascent. Knife over towards B main, letting them know that KRU are not playing that area aggressively. But it's such a passive setup from G2.
Yeah. No one holding aggressive in any of the extremities. Really far back in mid to play this time in.
They are making it look like there could be threats with that smoke. And KRU are respecting it for now. This would be a round for Leaf to come online. He's taking a very long sight line here, but he's 1-7, hasn't found an opportunity to get into this game. And because he's so far back rather than dueling up, KRU have this easy access down catwalk.
Waltzing in.
There is a trip to stop them, but by the time they break the trip,
they're just walking up to it.
Exploding onto Valen and Net. This is where the paranoia is absolutely imperative.
Again, spotted. No one able to really capitalize though off somebody getting tripped up into a paranoia. Dash forwards now from the rest of them. Net only good for the one. An instantaneous trade. Flash off to the side. Dodge. Leaf still with the one. Blaze Storm. Regenerated, rejuvenated, dashing and backing away. Jonah P delivers it. Flatlines the enemies. They return, not out of it just yet.
They needed that. They needed Leaf to come online. And Jonah, after having such a great performance on Sunset, carrying them through some of those big rounds, he also steps up for the squad. But the actual utility war, still not looking great for G2. There was a knife there that suppressed Valen and stopped him from being able to use the paranoia.
Good flashes. Yep. Yeah, good flashes, brother.
But Jonah P wasn't suppressed, and there's the rest of the team crediting him on being able to flash them in so that they could maintain heaven control, where Leaf and Jonah got the work done. This looks like another of the exact same strategy, but this time G2 are fighting Tree. They're not just leaving it open with the trip. That might be a surprise for Kesnet.
Flash, anti-flash position played onto the top corner. It's Leaf. Does he see this inside the smoke? He's not watching. He's not watching. He's not watching. Side by side, the Jet players are none. The wiser Kesnet. It takes him out. Flash there, right click does not do the job. Valen eventually, it's labored, it's messy, but eventually getting these kills. Trent still alive there, but eventually now brought down. MTA and Shy, they are powering their way through. Side granted and gained.
And this attack side keeps going for KRU. So many rounds on what's generally thought of as a defense-sided map. It's so difficult for G2 to hold on. Net's got an impossible task ahead of him.
Covered in his face, that was to take first contact, and there goes the swing for Melzer.
And again, Brent, Valen's paranoia, way late. They're just not being able to identify the timings early enough to pull out the utility, use it, and stop KRU. By the time they realize that KRU have committed, they're already having to take gunfights. I mean, obviously this being a weird example, but there you see it, just in the kill cam. Valen's playing over towards Switch, and he's got someone in his face by the time he uses it to flash.
Yeah.
It's not a big five-person burst execute. It's much more difficult for the defense to get the utility timing correct, and G2 are struggling so much with that. Meanwhile, in the slower pace, Kesnet is like an eel. He finds his way through the smallest gaps. He's like an octopus. Only the beak limits where he can go. He can slip through any crack.
Yeah, you're just making me hungry. I mean, 14-6, that's the scoreline for Kesnet. In terms of his kills to deaths.
That's so sad for Kesnet.
Yeah. Why is it sad?
Because I'm trying to describe him similar to an eel or an octopus, and it's just making you want to eat him. What?
I mean, he's popping off too. He's popping off. Listen, I'm trying to spin this one in a positive direction.
You're too sushi-filled.
Yeah, I really am. Okay, this needs to be a turnaround for G2. That's why the timeout's being taken. Adjustments being made. I mean, it's these quirky timings the KRU are taking by contacting up. Maybe refighting is the key. Maybe some hot flash plays, but
or just hard stacking off the Cypher utility. That would also be another one. I mean, trying to get an aggro Cypher can be main. KRU are not playing there that often. But Net keeps going for these that get info, but really deep information.
Gonna be a double peek off Cat with his flash of Jonah P, but they're gonna miss the timing again because they're just walking. They're missing the timing again. Jonah P, he's there, forced to just underhand it. And where's the follow-up?
They just can't get the
set it up.
They can't get the timings for this defensive util because they don't have people taking contact in the right spots. You know, they don't have that alarm bot to play off in mid or a Jet playing aggressively.
A lot of noise made. 1 minute now. For this one. The mid control. Similar positions being played, but all eyes set towards Tree.
But again, no one's playing like an early contact position. They're playing to jiggle. The paranoia used way before the commitment comes through.
This is pulling the util out. I mean, they fake out the smokes, the TP, just trying to really force them.
It's going B split.
Again, the eel is in mid. The eel is in mid. I repeat, 2 players to meet him. They're going to be doubling up, sprayed through and down. Jonah P from behind. What a return and what an answer. Net's still alive at the back of the site, but he has taken some hits. 7 HP. Kesnet hot on his case. That's 3 in a round for him now. Sets up for the plant. Site to be taken.
Planted.
Pull down to Trent.
Toxins going up. screen
All going
down.
down now. Running out of resources, no mollies to force the
charges
fight. You can
left.
hear the jump spot. At least one of them, but it's the double face of KRU. Almost an impossibility. Trying to catch the timing.
Great try, but not quite there. The electric eel and the rest of the
Last
squad
round
pulling up
in
to
the
7.
half.
It's absurd what Kesnet is doing. And Shy, too, has just decided to turn up in terms of his fragging in this map. Every duel he takes. I mean, this was a sick play. Don't get me wrong, from Jonah
30
P.
seconds
The
left.
timing, amazing. But it's just not enough.
KRU up to 7 on their attack side of Ascent. I mean, a resounding half so far, and there's one more round left to be played.
Even if they lose it, KRU are still in an amazing position to win their first, I guess this is not quite a regular season game, is it? But, you know, their first game outside of LCQ in a long, long time.
Placing swarm grenade. Swarm grenade up. Initiate.
Down from Shy.
Placing swarm grenade.
Players not with them here. KRU,
Swarm grenade out.
not sure what the aim of this is.
I mean, Mel's has got his ult and the spike, so I think this might be some kind of elaborate fake where they're deciding whether to go B or whether to go A, depending on how the reaction to this lockdown works.
They haven't really committed. TP into the back of the site here by Valen. He cancels it. Still with the rest of the team out wide. And spotted.
Look at that, they fake as if they were ping-ponging to A and just walk in.
absolutely
The
ridiculous.
calls are just immaculate from Melza today.
No one to play off this trip. And they're just taking their time with it as well, so it just gets broken. Smoke, settle down now, get the rest of the team all the way in as post-plan can be played from multiple directions. Guns aren't good for G2. They do have one thing going for them. No command. The abilities. TP's into spawn, Melzer. Do they spot anything from that
Time,
one?
they are so slow.
It's really slow. Really labored. Shy, close. Interlogs tucked away. They can't remove him ever so slightly. Beautiful shots though from G2, making a good go of this one. All up into their face as well, but yes, you're right, the time is ticking. It's the biggest enemy against them right now. They can't deal with these big main players. Trent is absolutely sealed it for them, and they have enough time, barely.
What a retake from G2. But is that enough? Getting to only 5 on defense. What does their composition look like on the attack
Switching
side?
sides.
How are they going to be able to get into sites without executil? We've seen Valen call an amazing attack side on Sunset, but I think more pressure on his shoulders than there has been in a long while. First game in Tier 1, and KRU are pushing them to the very limit.
Yeah. So many questions heading into this second half, really. Like, what is going on?
Towards the crowd. Okay, let me refocus for a moment. Well then. So, Leaf has had a really rough game so far.
Yeah.
I mean, he had moments where he was getting outclassed in the previous 2 maps, but this is different. 3 and 10 really found it difficult to get anything going on defense. And like I said, G2's composition, it looks like it can take map control fairly well, even without the Sova. But how does it get into sites? It looks like the Viper Wall's going to threaten those B splits. But let's see. It's going to put a lot of stress and strain, I think, on Jonah P in terms of how he allocates his utility.
KRU are TP'd into mid. Going a bit of a pincer play
they are
outside
so
B.
deep.
I mean, they're so deep. They're going to be fast onto the flank, I think, through Cat. Fast is the play from G2 on top of it. Tuck to the corner. Shy doesn't win it. Good opening.
That's a fantastic opener from Leaf. He needs more of those.
Kill, but guess what? They are so fast.
Spike planted.
It's rapid. Knife didn't connect. Kesnet dealt with. Paranoia rips its way through to reposition. Everybody tucked into hell with one player left to play the cross. It's Jonah P here.
One enemy
Hopping
remaining.
up onto the high ground. Klaus with so much more to do, and he just doesn't expect the wrap around there. A pistol round gained. G2, perhaps what they needed.
Now, in the midst of all of that, an excellent pistol round that keeps G2 in things. Trent has a lineup that lands so that he's got a Viper orb one way between grass and tree. I wonder if we can catch that at some point, but you can see it in some of these replays. That is a really unusual one. Something to keep an eye out for if G2 look like they're going towards tree in any of these rounds.
Ronaldo just holding for the push, expecting the eco. one player to receive. Smoke's coming through now. Shy just going to attempt to play off the site. Now, it's always the risk. When you're not running the Killjoy, you don't have the nano swarms to just layer down into the smoke, so players could swing through them, but they're just making sure to watch them.
And look, it's actually an aggressive trip on the Market smoke.
Yeah.
As Net came out, he tripped Market, making sure that if anyone tried to pop flash and swing through there, they would get punished for it. So they have thought about this with the comp. And KRU shouldn't be able to get too much done here just with classics in hand, but their aim has been so sharp today, I struggle to write them off.
Thanks happening.
They're going to hit
back.
a trip.
Yeah, they will hit the trip.
But if they just play to contain and play for exits,
Looking to do economical damage.
yeah, it could get bad.
No chance to win the round for them. Running it down. Oh my god. Oh my god. And
Here
yeah,
are those exits.
containing, getting the kills here. They need to get out with that rifle and bulldog, but only one weapon surviving.
Clutch.
What an excellent prioritization of the most damage that KRU could do in that situation. You see a lot of teams just group up to try to only play one side of the map on exits and then throw themselves into the spike. But they really made sure to cover everything. So now G2 got a bit of a question, actually. Leaf is going to purchase up by the look of things. Yeah, Kesnit's not real.
He's not real.
He's not real, he can't hurt me. He's not real, he can't hurt me.
He's a demon, man. Nightmares manifest.
So Leaf is going to buy in this round, hoping to get up to the Bladestorm, but he's quite a long way away.
Yeah.
Especially with the way that he's currently been playing.
Money situation's weird. Wiggling onto the corner, and MTA, but backs away with a knife.
Shutting them down.
Did catch onto Leaf, so they know the Jet is in A main, and that's going to pull Kesnit over. Look at this one way, right? Look at that.
Playing in front of it though, MTA. Depending on how this is cleared, if G2 choose to fight this one back towards it, Kesnit's making sure to cover that angle. The orb goes down as well. Look at this guy, so damn consistent. He wants even more for it. Does Trent dare step into it? Unlikely.
Man, where is the utility to get them through these choke points? They've got one flash.
Seconds. Orb finally up. Kesnit. He's just crouched. Does not care, man. He just does not care. Finally retreating away, but I mean, G2, they're still not through. The layers of the util to KRU, they're just saving all their pieces for this.
Where is the exec utility for G2?
It's just not there. Finally, you're seeing it flash over the top as well with that dash out, and maybe some kills to be found. Leafy's still alive
30 seconds
here.
left.
Out wide, but
enemy
hit.
remaining.
Okay, Klaus returns it right from the side. KRU had full containment of that one.
It certainly did. They lost Valen early on, so that's one of the paranoias gone. But when they actually hit the site, there's only one high flash coming out from Jonah B.
Yeah.
Because they have to use some of that utility to be able to take map control earlier. It's a real worry for me with this composition. If KRU can just bunker down on the sites, I think they're going to be in a great position with the default composition.
Okay, Klaus returns it right from the side.
But the score is close. Having said that, G2 actually decided to buy in the previous round. Like we'd said, Leaf bought fully down, didn't get up to the Bladestorm. And now G2 go, yeah, there you go. I mean, what kind of lineup is that? It's like magnetic when it hits the wall.
It's nasty.
These players put in so many hours into server time. Find the wildest things. There's some Viper main somewhere going, I've been using that since 1993, actually. That's old tech.
Yeah, it's always the Viper mains on the unorthodox maps. They just have the wildest tech. That's spotting Jonah P. Getting backing away, and it's so slow at the beginning here.
Toxins going up.
I think one of the win conditions for G2 on their attack side is going to be trying to bait KRU into fighting aggressive in certain areas and giving away picks before they have to hit the site. Especially in mid, where this Viper wall's dangerous. And what a play.
Wow. Kill to be found there. Still, Shy drops down into logs. Is he going to be spotted out? They've removed all of them. What a play indeed.
That's amazing stuff. The flash comboed with the paranoia, knowing exactly how to punish that player on lane. And then Leaf getting warmed up, dealing with his counterpart.
Those are still with a lot of utility. These want to make a go of this one. Picks up a rifle. Bit to get lucky. Post plan being played. Everybody up onto the site.
Yeah, this is just going to be a save.
Yep, thinking twice.
MTA and Klaus don't have enough money to be able to buy for next, so if they lose the Vandals, they're in a bad spot.
Okay, G2.
It is ludicrous that G2, and frankly, actually, all of the teams that we've seen in the Americas, are able to get so much value from the eco round when teams are also, I feel like, buying into them less.
Yeah, some of them are really maximizing it just because of the threat of that outlaw purchase, but
I feel like the game plans that we're seeing from teams on eco rounds are really well fleshed out this year to be able to get that first pick and then snowball it forwards. KRU are going to take a timeout. Again, very early on in the half, I feel.
Give me those back.
They haven't learned too much about the way that G2 are approaching things, but plays like that, the more that G2 have in their playbook with this composition to be able to generate the first picks or to be able to get into sight, that is going to make up for any downsides of the comp. Perfectly.
Look even better for them. It's always the way as well with these compositions. You just don't really know, especially when you run something like this, like G2 are running on Ascent, you know, how it's going to be working out on their attack side. It was looking like they were missing the pieces, like getting bogged down super hard before they could even get into the sites. But when they get given main control like that, it looks like they have setups to be able to just explode out, capitalize off the util.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you have smaller amounts of utility, it's not about how big your utility is, it's about how you use it, Brad.
Okay. Why are you telling me that?
Well, I just thought you might need to know.
I don't need to know, actually,
All right.
and I'm not insecure.
That's fair enough.
Don't bring it up ever
well.
again.
So, but how G2 use the small pieces of utility that they have is going to be incredibly important. Maximizing that potential to be able to get picks off the back of them is, as you just saw, everything.
Yeah.
This round, though, Jonah and Net with Guardians not choosing to upgrade to rifles. Okay.
Interesting.
Here.
Jonah was feasting with the Guardian on Sunset.
Toxins going up.
Even keeping that half armor, I mean, he's got 4.2k to him.
That's a different lineup. This is the more standard Viper lineup, and you can see them picking it out.
Down though, Flash to take control of A main. One player left to anchor the site. That's Melzer towards the back. MTA, his job's to just hold and contain towards tree. You can hear the players now, and that offloads his utility along with the paranoid. That's a lot of tools used.
So much util used there, baited out by KRU. Exchanged, not too much on the other side. Leaf, though, having burnt the dash. Normally, teams are going to reset into an A split after this if they want to finish A. So this is, if G2 continue all bunched up in A main, this is going to be hard for them to get out through the choke.
Mollies might make it easier, though. Where did these lineups land? Potentially to the back of Jenny. Looks like it's in that direction. Here we go, finding it. Molly actually towards the door. So here we go, Ulsen flying MTA. There towards Hell, an attempt by Kesnit. More than that, he's granted 2 kills to his name. Spike dropped down. On top of it, Trent, he's alone. Here's the footsteps. Holding the spike for now.
He's forced to abandon Jonah.
Truly forced, and now Kesnit wraps it up pretty and neat with the bow on top of it. That's the lead for KRU, gained once more.
Just let them try to catch me.
I do think that was a little awkward there for G2 deciding to all pop out. It was an interesting creative idea from Leaf, updrafting on the entry to try to create a high-low setup and let the rest of his team flood in. But a little too late, not quite enough pressure onto the people anchoring. And again, KRU looking really sharp with their rifle skill. The eco is in all sorts of weird positions here. Trent is vying for next with only a sheriff, no armor.
Let's singing past each other towards A main. Mid. It's the goal for G2 right now.
And Net's done a decent job there getting rid of the turret. Have they? I thought for a moment they might have an angle to walk past the alarm bar, but I don't think they do.
Kesnit with the dash, lots of targets. It's a rich environment. Alarm bot now there, dashing in the wrong direction, the wrong side. Can't escape from them. Not quite. Leaf. Never attempt for him, but he's not going to be able to get that kill. Still one might be good enough now, especially with Kesnit removed. He's been a star player for this team.
These are the mistakes that I think KRU have to avoid. Giving away a pick like that when G2 are just fighting for map control.
Not enough duration on the drone.
And the camera from Net, again, just letting them know, nobody push behind it.
Contacting up and out of flash through. Leaf's caught by it. Nano Swarms as well. The rest of his team can't follow up through, so this is buying time for Shy. The rest of his squad. Leaf just play this one. Klaus still close to the dice. Out wide. It's been covered. Smoke deep for them to try and pop through. Pistols now out the right clicks. That didn't work. Shrapnel straight through him. Melzer, last one left. Has to save, surely.
The economy's weird for both teams, but I think you're right. With Kesnet and NTA not having very much money, Melzer's just got to go for the save here. And G2 in a 5v4 being able to pop into B. It looked awkward, didn't it? I mean, Leaf was full blind, running through Nano Swarms, then swings with 30 health. It definitely looked like there might have been an opportunity.
Definitely was the timing, I think.
Yeah, for
somebody to swing
pick that up.
Klaus or somebody else to sort of like maybe Shy to swing through the smoke, but
they get away with it.
Uh-huh.
G2 are starting to pull back into this one. It looked like a fantastic lead the crew had managed to develop on the previous half, even though it's only 2 rounds, just because of the way that Ascent plays. Very possible to close that.
Anyone's game.
With how tight this game has been, and the fact that we're currently at 9-9 as well, all of those conversations about crew coming close, but then not being able to get the match win. Those are all going to start to rear their head again if they can't close things out here. Because it really looks like they're in control. Kesnet's got 24 kills already. I mean, when he has performances like this, you should be able to convert them into match wins.
I think.
But G2 are primed to take the lead.
The perfect flash for that A main control. Smoke's used early. Since the eco though, fast play for G2, they want to try and burst themselves into the sights.
Timmy's doing his best.
It really is. Kesnet! That is insane. Talk about nerves. 5 health though. A lot of damage being done to these players. Still the eco. Smoke drops off. It's so awkward, right?
This is a weird way
it's
to play
really
the
odd. They're all going to be just waterfalling down straight into hell. Can they even get these connections? The bullets are raining through. It's anyone's game. RNG is what it comes down to. Still, players survive. Keslet's there, 5 HP. And a dream right click misses. Leaf surviving.
Just as G2 drafted it up.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a very deliberate decision that they went for there, putting so many people in hell, putting the smoke there too, all trying to play off each other. It did work.
That gets so messy.
But yeah, especially when crew have stingers to play with as well. At that kind of range, that is dangerous.
Could have been a coin flip.
But G2 have taken the lead now. 10-9, their favor.
The attack side has been all theirs. Only 2 rounds game for crew on this half. Guns by their side. Crew put a stop to it once more.
Okay, G2 looking to gather up towards B main, where they've got Odin spam off Shy's contact. Or actually off the turret contact. Oh, Klaus is going to recon off turret contact and then go for the Odin spam.
Shy forward, breaks the cam. Been using that one a lot. Alright, does have the Odin spam with the turret now. Feels his hand ever so slightly though. Just gonna make Jonah P think twice. Pop flash. Now the paranoia sent flying. Making this feel like a B hit. TP into the back of it. Pulling the players away for the rotation. Still 2 remain from crew. Anchored, hard positions here. It's up to MTA with a nade. Drop down at his feet. Reposition him back down. Up to heaven. Melzer. It's a really, really tight angle. Valin! Oh, shot to the cranium. Kesnet's time to shine though. Let's see what he can do. Hunter's Fury from afar. Klaus seeking support for a long-range angle. Kesnet. It's almost grabbing a second one in that scenario. Shy, he's faster, but the double face of G2 is good. They've got that discipline in check. Klaus getting a reveal. Odin spam! Leading it straight to net. It's a 1v1. 30 bullets left in the Odin. Main position for Jonah P. Spam into the door, but he doesn't quite break it. He's anticipating the reflank. That's why he has to clear it. Time might become an issue. P, there's so much to clear right now for Klaus, hopping over the top. Good movement in the end, the tap. Forcing it out. Shots fired from Jonah P. Now reveals his position off to the side here. Klaus trying to play this as well as he can. Almost getting this kill. Jonah P. Another tap. Wide with the swing in no time. It's played to perfection by Jonah P. He's won the round for them. I think very just about. Yes.
Klaus was so convinced that Jonah was going to be playing some kind of aggressive angle there. He was trying to bait out, you know, a push from Heaven or somebody anchoring Generator. He just couldn't believe that Jonah was playing so far back. And yeah, the timing, so close. KRU are going to call another timeout. It is just in time, unlike on Sunset, where it was already, the damage had been done at that point. But this time, the final timeout called by Atom, when KRU are forced onto an eco, I think by the look of their economy, and almost giving G2 12. Now, the eco rounds have been really powerful in this game, so I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but in all likelihood, G2 are getting up to match point here, and this would be a heartbreaker for KRU.
Come so close. All throughout last year. I just don't want a repeat. The same for this year here in the kickoff. Like you said, the money situation looking too good for KRU. Not really digging deep, I think, for the weaponry here, but they have done damage in the past. Can't count this team out. Maybe it's possible to stem the bleeding, but in all likelihood, looks like a G2 up to 12. Series point. Plays to meet them here. Melzer. Three positions actually. Runs his little wee legs there into Wine, so.
One suppressed.
Rest of the team not interested.
It's a nice idea defaulting into a B hit, but it hasn't pulled anyone from KRU away from this three-person setup in B main.
Yeah, and Shy's on the corner here with the sting. He backs away. Paranoia now. I respect that one. They are sending out Util though. Damage! No way! Like I said, never count KRU out. This is Guardian spam. Leaf being the casualty there. To be left reeling here. 4v5 for G2 now. They were good for it in the first map. Let's see if they can convert once more. It's going to be much more difficult though. Uphill battle. Players to meet them. Still don't have main control. This time cutting noise. Bit of a...
And they've bled G2 out of all flash utility. This is my question again. 45 seconds, but how do G2 take steps forwards? Do they just have to brute force entry?
Might have to be the case. Waiting for the smoke now. Valen, okay. Paranoid straight through main. Pop flash play as well. It's all combined. Oh my! Jonah P, I don't think he saw a bloody thing. Kesner's still there though, returning with a fire. The cavalry arriving. Kesner doing his darn. There's still two players to meet them here. 25 seconds left. The call is to cancel. G2 gonna start running up to mid, but they're gonna be met. KRU gonna meet them here. Vulnerable, spamming them down. Spike dropped. Net, he's low. There's a door in his way, for God's sake. He's gonna try and burst this one down. Enough bullets for the jump, but 12 seconds left. He doesn't get by. 10 seconds. Get a move on, son. Cam, so we can cross. Time fairly there, but he's got it. Has to stick this mic now. It's up to Shy. Running with the timing. He knows it. Spam onto the corner. Shy collects the kill and pulls off the almost impossible.
These eco rounds have just been so dangerous. I thought it was an absolute mad play to go for the defensive reclear there. Because again, theoretically, G2 should find it really difficult to get into sight. So why are you offering them a team fight right before they would be forced to exec? But in all of the chaos, they actually found enough kills with the lower weaponry.
Yeah.
And then the scramble from G2. I still think it was a good call to try to go B. They knew that both players were A, but they hit the alarm bot. How many times did he save them in 1v1 situations earlier on today when they had a player advantage and almost threw it?
Rhinoceros has been good for it.
Yeah. The Rhinoceros and the Electric Eel. What a duo. What a duo.
I don't think Kesnit's going to be happy with that nickname. He's going to do his best to make it not stick.
He's slippery enough. He can dodge a nickname.
Odin spam. A little bit early from Klaus there. Just open. Maybe they were opting for the B rush, but it doesn't connect on 20 players. It's once more the mid game for G2.
Yeah, they haven't really been in mid this early in the round, I don't think. If they break the alarm bot here, they're creating threats in mid real early. And that's going to pull people towards the center of the map. Maybe make things easier for Net or Trent to get a lure. Honestly, no one reacted to that alarm bot going down.
Door closed. Arcade is now theirs. Kesnit's still feeling safe for the time being.
Here.
I don't know how he can feel safe there.
No, I don't know either.
He just is not scared.
He's just not scared. I mean, the door's still closed, but
if they break the door and B split onto him, what's the escape strategy?
Oh, bullet for the head. That'll do it. Yeah, that'll do it. Door's broken though, and here's Leaf comes knocking. Over the top now with a dash and a flash. Maybe to set another right click and missed. Went a little bit wide, Shy pulling out the lockdown, drops it down towards his feet. Needs to push them back. Beautiful paranoia, yet Jonah P. How has he done that? Treacherous waters, yet still sails it through with the lockdown destroyed and a pit on top of it. There's the 12th round.
Huge performance from Jonah P. Very reminiscent of what he put together on Sunset. He's top of the scoreboard for his squad. Just in front of Leaf, who's made a big
fully
recovery.
blind, man.
No, he was the only player that didn't get caught by the paranoia. We might catch it in the replay, but he bailed the rest of his team out. Look at him, swinging forward to cover for the other two, Valen and Trent, I think, who just got whacked by that paranoia. I mean, Jonah's been amazing.
He has.
He's just been amazing today.
Mad consistency across all three maps. Kesnit has dropped 30 kills, by the way.
And he has Blade Storm staring into Jonah, who has Knife and a null command to take it away. I mean, Kesnit should not be able to make magic happen. And unfortunately, this looks like Kesnit's going to drop 30 in a loss again. I mean, it just looks brutal.
Heartbreak.
But the way that KRU operated on that previous eco round, it got them the win. So even though they have Stingers and a Blade Storm that can get cancelled, they still have hope.
Gotta do it again. Gotta do it again to stay in the series. Spot through mid, now walking all the way through. Kesnit just jump spotting off from the well. See if he can spot a head or two, but it is smoked into the bottom of mid. Denying that information. Lambo's still there, look at that. Dropping the wall timing in case there was somebody there. Now the null command through. No way! It doesn't matter, he doesn't have the Blaze Storm. Ripped away from him, but he takes out your star player. Leaf is gone. Flash forward, Jonah P. Many players to meet him. Lucky he didn't end up dying there. There was a corner fight, but Valen is the one who goes down. Shy to the corner, sprayed them through. Two players left standing. G2 trying to get this plant out now. It's going to take a miracle at this point, but that's what's been sailing KRU through these rounds of the eco rounds. It's all going well for them. Counter spam in order. Net was attempting to make a go of it, and Trent falls on top of it. So that's KRU. They've been good for the eco rounds now. This consistency is just ridiculous.
It's unbelievable! In the moment that Kesnit had his knives ripped away, he just plucked somebody. Look at that. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. And then this call, I think, is a mistake from Valen to decide to fight forwards. Valen and Jonah P had the spike between them as well, so that delayed the plant going down, and they ended up swinging into a bunch of people. Just put them in a disadvantaged situation. Right, I'm not talking about the... I mean, it doesn't matter the economy anymore,
It's
but...
down to 11.
I've just decided for the rest of Kickoff, we're not talking about the economy.
Yeah. Hunter's Fury is a tool for Klaus here, but... My God. Battling their way back.
Draw it up in Epic Pen, one chance, chat.
One chance. Seconds. Dropping down here to flash spat again. Leaf lines it up by his team, dropping his feet to the Nano Swarm. Hot feet to it, somehow gets that one. Players though, off towards the staircase. They want to swing this one because they know there's no swing attempt back from G2. There's no coverage. Gonna pee into the site. Out through main, Shy! Where's he got that? 3 players. Spike is still planted though, but this is such an odd scenario. They are aware of this, surely. No, from B main, they don't know the Trent's there.
Net baited for Trent, and I think this is going to be the play.
Has to be the insurance policy, no way! Ripped them apart! G2 take it! It's a 13-11. The Ascension team paves the way